All right, everybody, welcome to the GETREKT Test Tournament. My name is Bennett.
I'm Zombie Xander.
And, well, for anybody watching in the U.S., I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving end of week. For anybody watching in the U.K. or elsewhere, I hope your week was perfectly normal and boring.
Yeah, maybe you had a day off from work.
Maybe.
To celebrate America.
Maybe. My sister had a day off for some reason yesterday in Japan. I don't know what that holiday was, but, yeah. Who knows? Anyway, today, what we are focusing on is the PlayStation 4 tournament for GETREKT, online tournament going on right now. And, well, let's take a look at what we've got. We're going to be jumping into the round 3 final of the winner's bracket. We're doing a double elimination tournament. And we're going to be watching It Had to Be Us versus Team Descent, who have made it through. And before we kind of get started, we've got something special. Xander, what is that we have that's special?
Well, we've got some awesome people in the background of the tournament collecting statistics throughout the entire thing. And we've got an awesome little spreadsheet that gives us a pretty great breakdown of how each team has been performing so far in the tournament. And it will be updating constantly as we go along.
Yeah, turns out you can get people to do that. Who knew? So let's take a look at this. We've got some of these up, and we can just take a quick look at, to start, the overall kills per team. And so the teams that we're going to be watching are third place Team Descent. They've had 326 kills over the tournament. And then below them, It Had to Be Us, 292. Oh, great. Okay, they put it up on the other screen, so I can just turn it off on mine. And so, looking at this, oh, nice. We've got it all in one place.
Perfect.
So, Team Descent and It Had to Be Us, both there with third and fourth place. Funnily enough, the top team, Sinister, with 430 kills, is playing in the loser bracket right now.
Yeah,
so
it's an interesting statistic to see that Team Descent and It Had to Be Us, both third and fourth in the overall kills, but marching their way right into the winner's bracket finals. I guess with a little better team play and not necessarily needing those extra kills.
Yeah.
Or even maybe not going to some later rounds where the later rounds had maybe a supremacy game type or a clash game type adding kills. They just got the job done quickly in one of those countdown modes.
Yeah. Moving over to the overall efficiency per team and looking at that. Oh, let's do individuals instead because that just got swapped too. But we've got two of the players from Sinister with overall kills individual over the course of this tournament. So that's Prototype 201 with 125 and Massimo with 107. And then that being said, when we look over on the right-hand side, efficiency, and something that we saw with the teams as well, is the fact that we've got 3.08 and 2.74 and 2.5, the top 3 spots all on It Had to Be Us.
They may not be killing as much, but they're definitely not dying as much.
Yeah, they are making up for it. And down below, we only had Prototype. He was the only one from Sinister to get on that board. And then George from Team Descent with 2.38.
So keep an eye out for George in the winner's bracket because he's going to be slaying it up.
Yeah, still very interesting to see looking both at the overall kills and the efficiency for individuals, that the team with the most kills up at the top isn't necessarily going to be the team that has the highest efficiency or the team that's in the lead.
Yeah.
Did that stream just freeze?
It looks like it may have just frozen.
All right, well, let's take a look over here real quick. We'll try to swap back over to it. Okay, it froze on their end.
Okay, great.
Oh, it's back. It's back. Look, it's moving.
A couple stutters, but we're going to get this figured out. That's what happens when you try and connect overseas like this.
I mean, if you send electricity through water, it's tough.
Yeah. It could go anywhere.
We're getting the live reactions from our producer. All right, let me swap these back. I mean, it should be running anyway. Okay, we got the music. It's just that the background is not moving.
Okay.
That's all.
Gotcha.
It's fine.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd say we just hop right into the action as soon as our teams are ready. They should be in wait.
Yeah.
And whenever our producer moves us on over, we will go ahead and get started.
We are at the mercy of the screen changes.
There we go. We've got our maps and modes up on the screen for you guys. So this will be a best of 5. So we will be starting off game 1 Supremacy on Endless Veil, moving it over to Control on Distant Shore, and then round 3 Countdown Vostok.
Matched up there, so that's pretty good.
I hope we have a couple of perspectives
Yeah,
from the
cool.
other team as well.
Fucking, we
They're
should.
both on the same team, both Team Descend. And this initial
I'm absolute. Watch it, don't die. Stay
strike
away.
looks like
Chris.
one member goes down for each team, and look, look at the healing rifts. Load them up.
Set him up on the corner. And all right, so that was that first encounter there. We had a couple go down. Not a whole lot, just pretty much a 1-on-1 trade.
One behind the,
And now
one
it's
on the
just a
cube, one on the
lot
cube.
of
One,
back and
you
forth
push me, be
over
careful.
the
Yo,
center.
behind us,
They're behind us,
behind
behind
us.
us, behind us,
Wait,
behind
would
us.
you
But
cops
here
They got
behind
angles, they got
us?
angles.
It had
there.
to be you coming around the far side and around the outside of that shrine. And
George is on
Sayaru.
this.
Sayaru.
Nice, good job.
Sayaru.
Should we just call him Ryu?
Call him Saya.
Saya. I
Yeah.
like Saya. Yeah.
So Saya now back over in the center, and it
Nice, Nico,
looks
you're cracked,
like
bro.
Descend has, or not Descend, it had to be you, has taken a little bit of that advantage, a lot of that advantage. 11-1 starting off, and almost gets him with the shotgun, trying to do it again, but
He's
he's
incoming
bouncing
tag.
on and off of that healing rift, and that is the special ammo gone. So now Saya moving back around to the side as we switch to George from Descend, who's kind of stuck over here in the middle, and they've got to get something going because in just the first minute, they've gone down 10 points.
And you know, a lot of those points came from
jumping
that
over?
great call out from the
Team.
rest of their team to wrap around B side and get that nice flank
Native
to
two,
be
native
able to
two.
fire in after a little bit of damage went down.
Yeah.
They just unloaded into
Oh,
those
one more one shot
healing
and
rifts.
pillar.
Yeah.
Completely took advantage of it.
What a play there. We had Saya avoid shots coming from mid, dodge over to the side, and then get the melee on the Guardian coming out of the, well,
Absolutely.
the drain.
Yep.
It's hard not to call it toilet bowl. But George jumping over, gets the shotgun and melee, one more down. 29-10 though, with 8 minutes and 13 seconds coming in here.
You know, I'm thinking early on, just looking at a little bit of this team play, it seems a little bit disjointed, and it's going to come down to a little bit more holding hands from Descend.
I traded out,
Because if people end up trading, there's 2 orbs on the ground, and look, there's a slew of orbs on the ground. They've got to try and deny these, or this game will quickly get out of hand. But I think they've got to hold hands a little bit more to try and get those downed orbs.
Yeah.
What are they called? Not orbs. Crests.
They're called crests, Sander.
Yeah.
So you saw.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not used
can't
to
do
seeing
anything.
crests in
That's what I
tournaments.
Yeah, so here comes the Dawnblade pushing through, but
Nico,
he
Nico.
just exhausted. Then
Go
Midas
middle,
able
middle.
to take him
Nice.
out there. And not sure if he actually ended up getting anybody with that super. So now back over to George, jumping over. And it's still a 10-point game, but they've been able to hold on. Going to get tagged by that arc. No, it didn't get him. But George jumping back out of the drain. He's got 1 over 2 his left. Going to have to be careful there. Pops out the hand cannon and able to get it. Gets the shot down, and he was the one who was able to finish that up, it seems. Gets another back towards Shrine, and now he's got at least 1 or 2 players coming on from the outside in Shrine. They got a healing rift down on that side, and another was over on that corner. It looks like it just finished up. George going to push. Not the best idea. 2 more coming from
Good
Descend.
job.
And so now 2 on a side. We've got Azir and Saya on the split
is
screen
one.
here.
Minus
They made
spam is
a
1.
pretty nice little comeback
Minus
there. I
spam
mean,
is 1
it's
HP
still a
spawn.
10-point game, but what they were able to accomplish was starting to stay a little bit closer together, and they actually survived that Dawnblade pretty well, avoiding a lot of the damage that it could have caused their team, and it gave them a little bit of morale and momentum moving into the next minute or two when they were just all together right there in that top middle B area. Now they're starting to drop behind a little bit more, but I think that's probably due in part by a lot of really solid solo plays from It Had to Be Us.
It had to be you.
Had to be
Had
you.
to be us.
Absolutely.
It did have to be us.
Got 2.
Yep. And so George goes down, spawning back up, and now 59-47 as we
special.
drop under 6 minutes left to play here. Jumping up to Shrine, got the whole team with
I'm
him.
gonna pop my super.
You hear that call for the super. George does have a super, or Midas spam, sorry, now we're
Yeah,
on.
let's come
Does
off
have a
from
super
toilet.
charged up, but there goes the arc staff. And we switch back over to Saya, picking up another crest there. And right in front pops that arc staff and is able to escape from that cubby. Swapping back over to Azir, and he's got 1 in front. That guy goes down. He's got 1 more trying to melee. He did it. He was still there.
Nice, grab the crest.
Able to get him down in the end, but I think they ended up trading. So now George on Team Descend spawns back up over in blocks.
Behind him.
Descent is
Get the
going to
fuck
have
off me,
to
man. I got two.
make a move quickly. They're running out of time. This game is
Nice, good
only
job,
to
you.
75. They've got to start rotating
one
some
more B, one
supers
more B.
through
Judge one.
and accumulating and
Need
denying
to
a
stop
couple more
hesitating on these
points.
supers.
There you
Yeah.
go. You
Got two,
the
got
big
two, got
ol'
two, got two.
laser.
Wow, no
He
one
only gets
teamed with
one
me.
with it.
We need to stop playing primaries.
You hear that call? They need
They're
to
They're
in spawn- they're
stop
spawning there, they're
playing
spawning there, they're
primaries. So
Yeah, one crest.
interesting. A bunch of crests coming up, and that might be the call that we need to swap over and be using the shotguns more because there's going to be less ranged play. The one thing about Supremacy is you've got to get in their face if you want to get the crest after the kill. Otherwise, and I mean, here we go. That's Team Diserd. It had to be us going up.
We play how we played at the end,
right?
right? If we play how we played at the end, we can definitely do it.
And
Like,
that was a
no
pretty
fucking
close
doubt
game,
in my mind.
considering how one-sided
You have
it
to think
felt
they're just
for
normal
most of it.
players. Like,
And it had to be us jumped
Well,
out to a
I-
10-point lead and just never looked back, really. I mean, sure, there was close accumulations, and it kind of
You,
got
oh,
maybe
you might.
the
I
closest it
think
got was
you should
within
change from
5, but it had
Chaos
just
Reach
jumped out
Stagger,
to that
like,
early
because
lead,
we
and it
can
was
get a
all
lot
about
of
the
picks of our
opening.
supers.
And then all they had to do was trade.
I'm just
the
saying.
I can
entire
go
you don't have
storm
to
Pretty
do
much,
it.
and that's
if you
pretty
want.
much how it
Like,
played.
if you
Like
guys
you said, they
really,
got that
really want
early
me to,
lead,
I
jumped
will.
out
It's no
about
problem, but
10, maybe a couple more than 10 points, and then after that, it was even. It was even pretty much throughout the whole match. So Descent just had a little bit of a slow start. We're
mean,
going to have to see
I don't really,
if they'll be
I don't
able
really
to kind
claim
of
the
pick
Overwatch
that
last
up in the
thing.
next game, which is going to be
I'm not
control
comfortable
on
with it.
Distant Shores.
And another thing you kind of have
Right.
to look at is because of the pressure that it had to be us put on Team Descend and how quickly they made the game, I'm pretty sure all 4 supers were able to pop forward had to be us. And Team Descend, I only remember seeing 2. So if they were able to close the game out that quickly,
yeah.
you're putting your opponent at a disadvantage for not even
What-
being
what-
able to
what
get
is
to
it?
use their
What map is
supers
it?
to even have a chance to
Okay.
coming back.
Yeah. All right, so taking a look at the next one, it will be Control on Distant Shore. Is that what I said? Yeah, that's what I said. Distant Shore being the throwback, one of the throwback maps from Destiny 1. So a lot of familiarity with it. A couple small changes, but this is one of the ones that they brought back that ended up being almost identical. All right, so here we are on Distant Shores, starting with Azir Q, or Azere. I don't know, but we're going to call it Azir. Moving up into the center and quickly over to Zone B, where it looks like they're going to go for that B and C overall. So we've got George now swapping over, George from Team Descend, and they were able to take Zone A. Going to move up, it looks like, to try to make a push. Here comes Syed trying to help out over on Zone B, but they were able to get that. Now moving into Dark, they're going to have one over on that other side, and need to be careful not to get funneled into here. Everybody's outside that choke point of the door, going outside of Dark, and they take them down. So
that handheld supernova, that's what did it in right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're coming around a corner, you're funneling through a small little area, and it's just so easy to wind that baby up and just light up that tunnel.
And we're going to have to be careful because it looks like we got a late addition to somebody's team that has just joined in here. Not sure if that was somebody who was supposed to be playing or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Gonna
Make your
set
matches
that to
private.
That's Azir going down. It looks like we're going to keep playing 14-12, and we swap over to George. They've got the advantage, 2 zones to 1, and they also have the 2-point advantage with 13 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here. Hopping up to the center block, trying to get
Nice
those shots in with
tap.
the hand cannon, and he's got one over in the dark room, and not sure if he's still there or not. There he is, going to be over to the right as you go outside. Not going to push that alone. Might be a smart choice. Instead, going to help out the teammate over on the side. And then here comes Azir. Almost tries to get the shotgun melee, but pulls the initial shot and ends up going down himself. And Descend has now actually lost the lead as we swap back over to George. 22-18. And it had to be us that's starting to jump up just a little bit.
They're looking a little more comfortable, though, on a control game type than they were in Supremacy because they have points of the map that they need to control. They have points of the map that they need to focus on, as opposed to kind of at random moving around the map like they were in the last one. This gives them a focus for their team movement. and makes it so
Nice
they can
shots.
possibly have a place to go as a team as opposed to running around.
Yeah. Well, it's also something where at the end of that last Supremacy match, what we heard from Team Descend was we need to stop playing with primary. And here they're actually able to use their primaries a lot more, and they can play from a little bit more range without having to push up. Now, that being said, they are down 10 points now, as it had to be us really started piling on. They picked up the zone advantage and then just started landing all of these kills. There's 2 coming down from Saya and someone else before. And now he's got 2.
Boy.
He's got 2 in front of him, but he's not going to be able to do that.
That's all 3 moving into B right there. Maybe
Yep.
even 4. Whoever on Team Descend is at B right now, they are in trouble.
Yeah, and it looks like they were trying to float up above that doorway, but instead not able to get down. There were, 2 or 3 members of It Had to Be Us pushing through to try to make that happen. And here comes an arc staff. Saya going to try to jump around it, not able to get the shotgun shot off, though. It goes down to George, who had that arc staff. And now we've got a Dawn Blade from Azir pushing up in front of Zone B. He's got 1 in front of him. I don't think he was able to get that. I think he got taken down by a shotgun first. Gets one last sword throw off of there with the Daybreak. And now he's got a Sentinel behind him.
Oh, boy.
And it's Super City, not able to get all of that health down with the shotgun. Instead, takes it about half. But we've got that shield up. And that super was somewhat effective. He got at least 1 with the shield throw.
Yeah, able to reset C. I think that was the biggest accomplishment from that super, maybe 1 or 2 kills, but the fact that they're still holding on to C.
Yeah. So now with the camera over on Sai, he's got 1 teammate over on Zone C and pops the arc staff, and we swap over to Maida instead. Now back to Sai, who's got the arc staff up. Hasn't been able to get anybody yet, but there's not really anybody around him at this point.
We switched right as he popped it, and I thought he just got melted right away.
Yeah. All right, able to get 1 right there at the end, but now he's going to have some people on him. A nice nade and shotgun finish, and now another around the corner. He's able to dodge and take him out with the punch. So that was a nice little 3-kill run there.
Saya going for 4, really can't quite make it around that corner.
Yeah.
Gonna opt to back off. His team has control of 2 of the zones right now. Ooh, pushes in and pays for it.
Yep. And we had swapped to George for a second right before he went down. Now back to Saya.
Oh, no,
and
yeah, that was Saya continuing his streak. There you go.
That was it. And now it had to be us really starting to pull ahead. 72-38 with 10 minutes still left to play. Seems like the timer was a little bit high. Is that what that timer was supposed to be set at?
I mean, they're doing 15-minute timers like the DTR.
Okay. It's just gone very quickly here.
It really has. I mean, we've got, there's still 10 minutes left, but
a 36-point lead for It Had to Be Us, swapping over to Azir, who gets taken down by I'm Legendary over on Descend. And then Saya able to shoot that super out of the sky. Doesn't look like they were able to get any kills with it. I think that was a Storm Trance that had just ended there. And so now,
ooh, really nice use of that uppercut, but it didn't end up mattering. Left with 1 health.
Yep.
Pushes in and dies to the shotgun.
So back over to Midas Spam now. He's got 1 in front with the shotgun, not paying attention. Takes him out with a shot in the back. Trying to get a follow-up with the hand cannon. Not able to do it, though. And so Midas Spam spawning back up over in the basin and going to move in here to Zone A, where he's got a couple teammates. Looks like 2 out of the 4. Going to leave. They seem to have that under control and try to take a different route here. Now splitting up to a 2-2 rather than a full team grouping. Take some shots, pull some shots to either side, though, not able to take out whoever was over there on Zone B. And so spawning back up now, taking the same route and moving out through the basin. Somebody still over on Zone B. Saya is defending that. We did have a rift. That's the word that I was looking for. A rift over there from Descend, but looks like they kind of abandoned that as Saya moves back in here.
Oh, boy.
Through the altar. It takes out 1 and then 2 with the shotgun.
Wow, what a great move. And It Had to Be Us has all the wiggle room in the world, up by 53 points. I think they have 3 supers. That is going to be one of them. 2 members of Team Descend going down, and he's got
Arc Staff v. Arc Staff.
And wow.
They're trying. He's held on to that for a long time, and he was able to get him right there at the end. So that was 3 kills with the arc staff coming from Saya, and then goes down in the end to a shotgun, but ends up trading.
It was trade, yeah. So that's great for their team. As long as they have 2 zones, he's happy to trade all day.
Yeah, so now Midas Spam back up, moving into the grotto. Got 3 out of 4 teammates there, but going to go down to a hand cannon. And looks like that was, I think that was Saya, not Azir, that took him down with that. And now swapping over to Azir, they have taken over here on Zone C. And now just waiting, trying to get this arc, or was that an arc staff or Stormtrance? Stormtrance trying to get him to come into that room, gets the rift down. He's going to have a shotgun, trying to push him and jumping all around, and ends up taking him down. That was Nightmare, who was able to take him down with that shotgun play. And so now,
I'll tell you what a nightmare was. It was a nightmare watching the look sensitivity on a controller when somebody's hopping around really close to you.
I remember. So now we back over to George, but they've got a ways to come. It's 127 to 64. They are down. They do have the zone advantage, and he's got a super coming out with that Sentinel. Gets the shield throw off at the very start, and he's got somebody around the corner there. Going to freeze up, not the best play to make. Able to take him out with that charge there. Gets another throw off, and he gets him with the shield throw.
Oh, wow.
It was like a no-look shield throw around the side. But still 130 to 72, playing to 150. Plenty of time left on the clock. Able to get that shotgun melee combo. 1 at Zone C, and 2 at Zone C, actually. Gets a lot of damage down with the hand cannon. Throws the nade out. Not able to get anybody with it. Hello, shotgun.
Another one.
And we've got one more on the outside of the door, but not able to do it. That ends that 5-kill streak that he had going. And we swap back over to Saya, who's got 1 in front of him.
They're going to need a lot more of those plays if they're going to try and come back in this game and absolutely the series. If they lose this, they're down 2-0. They've got to win 3 in a row to get back to the grand finals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to the losers bracket. And they will have another chance if they make it out of the losers bracket. But it's going to be a tall order at this point. Down 83 to 139, 140 with 6 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, we're at that final 10-point stretch, and basically they need to, at this point, they're kind of going to need a triple cap and to not die at all to make this happen. We're over on Azir, who almost able to take that super out. I don't think he was able to finish that. But gets the nade thrown out, moving back through the river, going towards Zone C, and a quick shotgun kill there, and popping the super at the same time. Oh, trying to get the sword off, and just being evaded right now as he's pushing back through the altar. Accidentally bumps up a little bit too high on that, but gets a long-distance sword throw. And now we've got an arc staff out from Saya, who's pushing through. I think was able to get 1 to start, but that's going to be the 150 cap. And that's going to be 2-0 with It Had to Be Us playing on the match point on the next game.
Yeah, and we're moving over to Countdown on, I believe, Vostok. Yep, so that's going to be one of those larger maps with a lot of open sight lines. Whether or not they stick with these Luna/Not-Forgottens or move over to, say, a Pulse Rifle, we'll have yet to see.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's lots of range on a lot of these Not-Forgottens.
Yeah.
And the way that they're playing with their aggressive nature as a team, I see no reason to switch off of them. They're playing really, really well and getting a lot of those really nice 3-taps that they need to control the pace of the match.
Yeah, so there it is, Countdown on Vostok. Going to be kind of interesting because of how large the map is, playing an elimination-based game type on it. So we'll see how that goes because there's a lot more ground to cover. Let me pop this up here because now we're going to take a look, and that might have been why Sinister had gone up in the overall kills here, just because they had already played 1 extra match compared to the 2. Because now we've got It Had to Be Us and Team Descent both popping up into 2nd and 3rd place here with 427 and 390 kills respectively. Taking a look, that's for player efficiency. Let's look at team efficiency. Sinister still leading now with a 2.27, but It Had to Be Us at 2.17. And Descent not doing terribly as that gets updated on the screen.
Live updates.
It's live. Goes up to there, and so now we have swapped over to that, and I'll turn this one off. And we can take a look as it all gets updated. Taking a look at the individuals. Prototype still leading, but we've got George from Descend, who's come up with 123, and it looks like George is most likely leading that team right now because he's managed to put himself into 2nd place in individual kills despite losing 2 in a row.
I tell you what, this is a perfect way to put together a dream team. You just take a look at this spreadsheet, pick the top 4 killers.
Yes, you're on my team now.
You're on my team. You're on my team.
All right, there goes that efficiency getting updated again. It looks like Descent went down just a little bit. And we get ready to fly in to Vostok.
Vostok. Team Descend backs up against the walls here,
Yeah, they're gonna have to
trying
make
to
something happen.
have any sort of luck go their way, any sort of fight go their way to get back into this round. They've got to win 3 in a row to advance to the grand finals, or they will be going on to face, I believe, Team Sinister in the losers bracket finals. We're going to check.
Yes, we'll take a look.
We don't have an update yet.
Yeah, they are still playing, it would seem. Hopefully they're playing. All right, so starting with Azir spawning up and moving forward. And so, again, something to remember is that revives have been disabled, or should be disabled. Wow, a triple to start, too, with the nade. Follows it up with the shotgun, and he takes out 3. That's a solid start. That's a good play to have.
Just like that, there's the round. What in the world?
That they all pushed in through the tunnel, and
Didn't we just talk about not funneling in all in the same place? And that's exactly what's going to happen. All you need is an effective shotgun or grenade
or a combination of both.
or handheld supernova, which is kind of a grenade.
Put the fun back in funnel, because that's how you spell that word. Nice 3-tap coming from Azir. Takes out 1. And that's all of them again. So that's 2 quick rounds going to It Had to Be Us.
Wow, you have to think, looking at those first 2 rounds, is Team Descend just a little deflated from the first 2 matches? Or is It Had to Be Us just playing that much better right now?
You know, it might be a combination of both as George spawns up and moves over, where it's, I mean, after you lose 2 back-to-back, you start to get a little bit tilted, and now you're in one where eliminations matter, so you can't even, like, you know, you can try to use the round reset to get yourself back in the game or get your head back in the game,
Yeah.
but it's a little bit tougher, especially because you go down and you just watch the rest of the team go down.
Yeah, and there, I mean, you have one. That's a good pick from Team Descend. They've got to try and translate this into a round win. It's going to do a lot for their team morale.
All right,
And that's going to be 3 down. There's 1 left remaining on It Had to Be Us. Boy, if he can pull this off, it is going to be devastating for Team Descend. But luckily, they're able to pull out the round, coming back up 1-2.
Yeah. All right, so a little bit of forward momentum there for Descend, and now really going to have to try to make some sort of push as we start up with Saya and Azir from It Had to Be Us, taking similar but different routes. Saya also going through the tunnels, got 1 about to jump in, and now going to try to make that push, but not able to do it. Goes down to Nightmare, and Azir getting some nice hand cannon shots there. Gonna go in and try to ape. Gonna finish it. Oh, wow, he gets that hand cannon shot, finishing him off as he backs around that corner. Throws out the nade, gets some damage down, but not able to do it. It's a 1v1. Never mind, it is a 1v none. That is It Had to Be Us taking the 3rd round. So 3-1.
4th round. 3rd round that they...
Taking their 3rd round.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. All right, back still with Azir, actually, moving over through the temple, looking into the tunnel, and just going to kind of hold this. It looks like most of Descend is going to push up onto the far side of that structure and back over to Saya now. He's able to get 1. He's got shots coming at him, though. He was being team shot, 1 from below, 1 from in front of him. And now we swap over to Midaspam, who is the last Guardian standing here. He's got some sights in front of him. Oh, but it doesn't proc, or it procs, but it hits the wall there. And unfortunately, that's also going to use up that that melee charge. So now just trying to run around, and you wonder if one of them is going to play the bomb. The volume has gone down, so we can't hear if somebody had set that, but it doesn't look like anybody has. And now we've got that healing rift set up. And, you know, I haven't seen Pulse Wave in a while, I feel like, for some reason. Maybe I just haven't paid attention to it, but there it was, giving him a little bit of extra handling and movement speed. And it's just, and here comes the super.
He's got the trump card right there.
Yep. Gets him with the super. That's the Storm Trance, and Lost Ninja able to take him out. So now 4-1 for Team Descend, and they are 2 round wins away from getting this game and taking this entire match.
And take it from me, as an American, I know about trump cards.
Don't bring it up. So starting with George, he's taking the high spot over in the tram here, gets the wall down, or the barrier down, and we swap over to Azir on the other side. Able to finally get that hand cannon shot, but not as clean as he'd probably like. Ends up trading there in the end, and it is 3 down. That's 4 down, and that's Descent taking another one.
That's big. I'm interested about the use of Chaos Reach, though. I find it to be a little bit better of a PvE super, and I feel like Stormtrance might benefit this team, especially with roaming capabilities, a little bit more. But that being said, it's not that bad on this map with a lot of those open sight lines and basically infinite range. So, and that's part of the example that where it worked out, because he was just out in the open and then got to laser 1 or 2 people there.
Yeah. But yeah, it is an interesting question, especially because some of those new supers that came out, especially it seems like mainly the Arc ones, ended up coming out and being like except for Arc Staff, but ended up coming out and being, a more traditional one-shot or shutdown, where you've got the, basically the guided missile over on the Titan, and then you've got, laser beam just coming straight out. But you can only shoot it once. There's no real roaming capability, and it's much more of a
maybe a little bit of a float.
Yeah, you can kind of move slightly forward, but I don't know.
He got suppressed.
He got suppressed, but he did get a kill there from Midas Spam. So right now they've got 1 down. Here comes the super moving in through the center of Temple and able to deflect so much of that. He's going to try to take him from the other side there, gets over top of it, and they are able to trade, but he did a great job of just waving off some of that damage.
He was trying to defuse the bomb.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
But that's 6-2, and that's going to be 3-0, a 3-0 sweep of Team Descend by It Had to Be Us.
It had to be us. Moving on to the grand finals. Team Descend moving down to the losers bracket. They are not out yet, but if they come back to, they make it through the losers bracket, they will have to face It Had to Be Us. They will have to beat them in 2 best-of-5s.
Yeah.
To win the whole tournament. So it's good to go to that grand final sitting on no losses, because you've got quite a, a safety net.
Yeah. All right, so looking at this, maybe Sinister and 20 haven't played, and that's just going to be the next one that we watch.
Maybe.
Who knows? We don't.
We'll have to ask our
helpers.
Little helpers in the background.
All right, well, while we get the next game lined up, we'll leave this kind of cycle up of the bracket and some stats and things like that, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. We had a little bit of a mix-up with who was actually going to be streaming next, but we've gotten that taken care of, and we're going to be watching the losers bracket round. It says round 3 in here. I think it's round 4.
Let's call it the semifinals.
We'll call it the losers bracket semifinals. This will be 20 versus Sinister. Sinister, who is currently leading a lot of the stats overall, but Sinister lost in the last round to It Had to Be Us, which makes sense considering how we saw It Had to Be Us play against Descend.
Right. Yeah, I mean, all facets of their game seem to come together in the winners bracket finals.
Yeah.
To go over Team Descend, and the winner of this matchup will go on to face Team Descend in a best-of-5 to see who goes on to back up to face It Had to Be Us. So hopefully a couple of these teams have been watching It Had to Be Us play or have played against them and starting to kind of work out some game plans if they happen to make it that far. But to the task at hand, they've got to get through this round first. We've got Team 20 versus Sinister. We've got Nico Wilco on the left, Prototype on the right. Both of these players, long-standing Destiny players in the Scrim community.
I think we watched them in the last. And then over on the other side, we're going to have Ashley Harrison and Viper, one on the left, one on the right. But it looks like we're going to start off with Nico Wilco. Here we are. And so we're starting off with Supremacy on Distant Shores. So, again, kind of a longer range map for a close range game type. I mean, honestly, I think we kind of saw similar.
Oh my
What
goodness!
was that? That's
he
a nade.
just killed all 4 of them with that grenade.
So that's a good way to start.
That's possibly the best way to start this off, with surrendering no crests to the enemy and getting all 4 down immediately using very little resources, and he's already a third of the way to his super.
Yep, and on a 5 elimination streak. It's 11-5, and Nico Wilco finally goes down, getting taken out there. And so we swap over to Ashley, who's pushing up through the river, sighting into the cave where we've got Prototype trying not to die, but he's got a teammate with him, so that's going to give him a little bit of help as we see the enemy on the radar. And it looks like they haven't completely decided whether or not to move up, instead using that. And there was Ashley, who had tried to move up and take that more aggressive position. Didn't work, though. Now Snoopy Dog takes out 2 with hand cannon headshots. So back over to Ashley and Team 20, who goes down right as we swap, and goes down right outside of Shrine. So we're back to Nico, who takes out another, picks up that crest, but it's a close game. It's 17-21, with Sinister actually down right now, down by 2.
And Nico Wilco caught out by himself against 2 members of Team 20. And he paid for it right there because he got the first kill but wasn't able to scoop up that crest. It's all about holding hands in this game type, staying by your teammates, unless, of course, you're starting out the match and get hit by 10 grenades.
Yeah. In that case, it doesn't work the same way that you'd probably want it to work. But we're with Prototype now as one of the teammates goes down. That was Massimo getting taken out by Ashley, and one pushing up on them. But they've got two guys up there and a rift, so that not necessarily the smartest push you could have made. And now it's a kind of a punch-off in there, but again, with 2, and that's Snoopy Dog going down. But here comes a nade, and Prototype goes down. We swap over to Viper now. Get some of those shells reloaded. Going to be a little too far away to use that shotgun, though. And now just bouncing around in Shrine, trying to make the right play. And able to get him off the slide. One more in front.
Oh!
Nobody's paying attention. He eventually goes down, though. Got taken out by, I think that was Nico. Yeah, it was. And so actually a very tight game, 36-33. And it's one that, even despite that start from Sinister, where they came out with that quick 10 points on the board, 20 was able to catch up.
Oh, yeah. I think this is definitely much more 20's game speed when they're able to get those team shots together and utilize a lot of their movement and team positioning, because they're right in this game right now. Yep, much different from how it started.
Yeah. And so there was a slide in from Prototype trying to get that shotgun kill, but ended up being a little bit too far off even at the end of that slide. So back over to Ashley on Team 20, and they've just gone down. It's now 47-36, and Sinister have that advantage. So trying to take some shots as a team there, and we get a super coming out. Nova Warp being pushed in and probably going to try to swoop
Cheerio
up
got
through that
shut
cave.
down.
Oh, got shut down, but did manage to push out a lot of the team from the cave. Didn't matter, though, even though they had some teammates up there to take those shots, as we swap to the side-by-side with Nico and Prototype, and swap over to Prototype, who's got that Dawnblade active. And so the Daybreak Super pushing now through the tunnel, and he's got one over on the other side, but they're probably just going to duck into Shrine, so going to have to try to no-look, and he gets it. So that's a good at least one kill there. Oh, no, but one came down and took him out with another super. That was the Blade Barrage, taking out Prototype right at the tail end of that super. So Prototype spawns back up, and they do have a lead. They're pushing up. We're playing a 75, so they're getting close, because 64-66 now. So they're ticking them up really fast. A bunch of stuff just happened. We swapped to Viper. It looks like there was a big Blade Barrage in that kill feed. And so Viper trying to take out the Storm Trance with the shotgun and able to get it. Viper able to finish off that Storm Trance, but eventually goes down, and now Storm Trance from Ashley. Nico Wilco had that Arc Staff going and was trying to deflect, but ended up going down in the end. And now Ashley with the Storm Trance gets one that we just saw, and is now going to have one on the other side of that box, but it's not going to matter. Too little, too late. 75-50. They lose by 25, and Sinister is up 1.
Once those supers started coming out, Sinister was able to break that mold where they were just kind of trading the scores and the lead off with 20 and pushed up. I mean, it didn't take very long for once they started getting a lead to make that lead huge. And it was right around the time when I started talking about how 20 was like getting starting to feel the game. All of a sudden, Sinister was up by 8. All of a sudden, Sinister was up by 25.
it just kind of snowballed.
Yeah.
And there were some really effective supers that came out, I think, that kind of ran that, and a couple that got shut down. So
shutting down that Nova Warp on Cheerio was huge for Sinister. That gave them all the momentum moving in right after that. And because they killed that, they were also down, or they were up 4-3 in numbers. So they just pushed those advantages, wrapped around from that cave, from both entrances, and took out everybody in that area. And I mean, that's not to say that there weren't some pretty great plays come out of 20. I mean, we saw that little shotgun run. I can't remember what player we were watching when that happened, but just running right up into Dark from Shrine. And, you know, I'd say if they're able to control the pace of the game the way they want it, they can hang with Sinister the whole way. And they were. They just, there was a few key moments that
just got away
20 that got away from 20, and most of it was revolving around shutdown supers.
Yeah. So now we're getting ready to play the second match. Sinister has the 1-0 advantage. This is a best of 5. So second match is Control on Javelin 4. So this might play a little bit differently, more closed in, and now a larger objective base. Like, we talk about Supremacy as being kind of a moving objective-based game type where your objective are the crests, which come from the kills. And so you have to be careful about your positioning when you get the kills to play that objective. But now going to Control, the objective are hard points. So
yeah, and look at that. Sinister has now topped the board across all categories, and they are probably itching to get back to the grand finals against It Had to Be Us. That being said, It Had to Be Us 3-0'd Sinister, despite what their stats may look like right now.
yeah, so it's going to be tough if they end up playing them again. But before that, they're going to have to play Descend in the next match. So Descend, who beat Team 20 to move into that match that we just watched. So we could have a rematch of 20 and Descend, and we'll see how that goes. But we're getting ready to fly in now. Javelin 4, Control.
Bennett, I'm having a great time today. How about you?
I'm just hating myself.
Is it because you have to sit next to me
Yeah.
for a couple hours straight?
Yeah.
Just talking to only me?
Yeah. Yeah. I really summed that one up. All right, we are in here. We've got Nico Wilco on your left, Prototype on the right, moving in quickly through the generators to outer ring and trying to get that first engagement over with, which is usually grenades over at Zone B. One in there, tries with a shotgun and able to get it and then dodge. And it looks like somebody was able to get a rift down there, but it wasn't going to matter. And so now just trying to cap that zone. The grenade didn't proc there. And Prototype now moving through outer ring and trying to get the backside angle there. Was able to get one down, I think, before going down, and we swap over to Nico Wilco.
Nico Wilco was so close to being able to cap that zone, but then right at the most opportune moment for 20, they had two members push in, and he had to abandon it, and they reset the timer on it.
Yeah.
I think now they're going to end up getting that, and they did get Zone B. They've got that zone advantage, but
yeah,
it's good timing for 20. Let's see if they're able to get any zones back and come back into this match.
Yeah, we're on Ashley Harrison, who's with a lot of the team just died, actually, over in Generators, and that's Massimo, who took out at least 3 of them, I'm pretty sure, just right there. We swap over to Nico, and Sinister's quickly, trying to run away with this. It was a 20-6 on that last score. Let's add some more to that. No, it is 20-6 still. 20, there we go, 22-8. So we get the nade in there. A nice arc bolt from Nico. He takes out whoever was crouching back there in the corner. I think it was Cheerio.
Oh, look, an orb.
Yeah, how about that? Now, and there's a double up, but he had a teammate. Massimo going in with a double down with the shotguns. That was nice. Nico drew their attention, and they tried to double up on him, but then Massimo was already sliding in to make that happen. Tries to get that shot, tries to get the melee, doesn't actually make it happen as we swap over to Viper. And it is 34-11 with just not even 2 minutes played yet. That was I think Firebolt going out, trying to get that melee, but Viper just not able to land it. Ashley Harrison, though, able to get a kill, as is Snoopy Dog. And we swap back over to Nico Wilco, who's taken some shots down from B, 42-13 now. They just added a bit more to that score.
A bit of a problem I'm seeing so far with 20 and how they're not able to take advantage of the numbers that they get. Sinister had kind of over pursued a couple of those kills, and they were able to take out 2 members of Sinister on Team 20 side, but they weren't able to utilize that numbers game while pushing into B, and they lost. They traded 2 for 2, and now it's just, again, 2 for 2. You get the other 2 members of Sinister spawning up, and they weren't even able to get that B zone in that time. I know it's kind of a tall order when you're on your heel, the way that Sinister has been pushing the tempo, and especially with their slaying ability. I'd be terrified of Massimo at the moment.
Yeah, and that's a great point. The thing is, when you get kills in an objective game type like this, where sure, the kills are going to add to your points, but if you only have 1 zone out of the 3 zones, it's not going to be adding all that much. So you need to make sure that you play those kills the smartest that you possibly can, which means take advantage of the sudden lack of players on the field and move in and take one of those other zones. So Ashley Harrison now popped that Storm Trance and moving out, had 1 jump right over and takes out Lernzel, I think. I'm not sure. Can't read that on the screen. And almost gets shot right there, but able to back up.
Boy.
But here comes the Daybreak, and Ashley goes down to that sword. So now moving back in here, 1 over around the other side. Not able to land that longer range sword, but able to land that close. But don't jump off the map.
Prototype going a little bit too ham there, flying off the edge of the map after 1 or 2 kills with that Dawnblade. But it's all right. The orbs stayed on dry land.
Yep, you don't want to throw ham off of a map. You want to put it in a sandwich.
A sandwich made of wins and tears of your enemies.
It would be a soggy bread, but it'd be fine. Back over to Nico Wilco, who just went down to Viper, and Ashley, who gets a nice shotgun kill there. Now trying to wait over here on Zone B, and they have taken the advantage back. It's 2-1, but 2 of them go down over there on Zone B. And now, as we're back still with Ashley, moving over, and they were able to hold it there, didn't get a whole bunch of push. Some nice hand cannon shots coming in before going down to another hand cannon. And now over to Prototype with Sinister, who's pushing in, and they're trying to take Zone B back. Now, they've got a little bit of a points buffer. It's 82-42, so a 40-point buffer, not bad. Prototype moving in.
Oh, my goodness.
Gets the quick double, 1 with the shotgun, 1 with the shotgun melee, and now rejoins the team, trying to take some shots here. But we've got a Nova Warp coming in, but it ends. And, that's like a Nopa Warp. That wasn't good. Don't laugh at that.
Oh, no, that was great, dude.
Okay.
Oh,
you.
man. Well. It's tough to see 20 not be able to take advantage of the zone. They still have 2 zones, so they can – I mean, they're still in the situation where they can make this comeback, but they've got to be able to hold on to it through what I just saw, 2 reserved supers that Sinister's holding on to right now. And, they may wait to use those to try and when they know they have the advantage and can take over. But there we go. Massimo with 2 huge kills. They're going to be taking this B back. He's got a healing rift. He's going to have the overshield. And they're going to take this advantage right back, leading 20 by 40 points. That is weird.
And saying the team is 20, but they're leading by 40 points?
Yeah, leading 20 by 40.
All right, okay, freeze is done. That's great. And we're on Nico, who's got that arc staff out. Got 1 more in front. Wasn't able to get that one, but I think got 1 at some point, maybe. I'm not sure. But 100-53, we drop under 9 minutes left to play. Ashley Harrison trying to get some shots there, but goes down to the Blade Barrage around the corner, it seemed. And back to Nico Wilco with Sinister jumping up over that door. Might have landed some of the pellets from that shotgun, but finishes up with a melee anyway. Now some team shots down the hall, taking out Snoopy Dog, and they've got 1 more over towards the rock wall, but instead going to push back towards glass and into fuel. We've got Ashley Harrison jumping over around that corner, trying to trade some shotgun fire, and Nico Wilco able to finish that off with the shotgun. So now over on Ashley Harrison, moving up to the side and trying to get some sights, but not a lot of teammates around.
I'm noticing the way that Sinister has been able to kind of fluster 20 is controlling those close range engagements. It seems like in more cases than not, 20 seems to get a little bit flummoxed by the fact that they've got members of Sinister up in their face with the shotgun, and the movement that Sinister is using while they're kind of closing in that gap is taking 20 by surprise, and that's what I'm noticing. And they're good at those close range engagements if they're able to control those engagements, you know, where they engage. But Sinister is making sure that they control that range and control the time and place that they're being engaged with shotguns.
Yep. There was Snoopy Dog with 2 kills off of that Daybreak. And, yeah, so speaking of the movement that Sinister's doing, it's very interesting when we're watching either Prototype or Nico because you can see on the radar the way that they're doing it. And it's not any sort – like it's almost a 2-2, but it's not necessarily set. It's very fluid where they'll run off and be in a set of 2, and then if they realize they need to move off, they'll just kind of fluidly split and join another set of 2 on the other side of the map. And they keep these rotations up doing that the whole time. Ashley gets a nice shot there with the hand cannon. Nova Warp coming out from Cheerio, and let's see, gets 1 to start with, takes out Nico Wilco. Ashley moving back around the outer ring to the pipes, and Ashley kind of in the middle of nowhere. Not a lot of team support around. Takes out 1 there with the shotgun, but then goes down to the team shots. And again, that's something that Sinister's been doing is they've always got that second person there to take the shots and make the team shots count. So now it's 139 to 84, only 11 points to go before Sinister is going to be able to take this one. They are down 1 zone. 20 has been able to make up that zone difference and get 1, but they're going to have to get a lot more kills to actually make something happen with it. 144 to 86, 6 points away with just over 6 minutes left to play here, and we had some popcorn coming out.
Look
from
at that.
Nico.
They're not even going for that B zone. They're going to try and pad their stats a little bit. They know they're being displayed on stream, and there we go. We're starting to get that B capped right now.
Yep.
But as soon as they do, there's members of 20 all over it. And they're going to be able to get this. If they cap that, it'll move them to 49.
Not even going to do. Okay, he's back. Do it. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Just trying to get that position on the halfway up the block.
You can cap it while being on there. That's interesting.
Yeah, there's a little ledge like right in the front, so you have to get on it just right. All right, so that's Sinister going up 2-0 over 20. The next game we will be playing is Countdown on Radiant Cliffs.
And look at those numbers, that production right there. 2.19, 2.21. Only 2 members of 20 actually in that positive efficiency.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be enough with the other 2 members struggling a little bit more. Sinister with some really great team play right there. And not only that, but great individual play.
Yeah. You know,
20's having a lot of trouble right now reacting, and that's the problem. They need to stop reacting. They need to be the ones that cause Sinister to react, but Sinister is just moving faster.
Yeah. They're just doing it better essentially. And so it's going to be interesting now that we're going to Countdown rather than one of the other 2 game types that are a lot more free flowing to see if it just ends up being a 6-round wipe or if 20 is able to pull something out of the hat and mount their comeback because they're going to have to do it from here essentially.
But even if they do, they are still down 2-1 and they've got to win 3 straight just like before when we were talking about it had to be us versus Team Descend.
Yeah.
And it's looking more and more like Sinister is going to be moving on to Team Descend, but I mean, unless 20 has a miraculous turnaround, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but maybe this game type will be the spark that brings them back into the match.
It might be. So it was funny in that. Thank you. That was terrifying. In that last round, we looked at the efficiencies, and I was looking at what Sinister's efficiency had been before, and they were all positive. 2 of them above a 2.0. But I was like, those numbers are still going to bring their efficiency down, despite having such a great round, because they just went down from, I think, like a 2.26 at the beginning of the game to now a 2.18. Gonna have to do better than that.
That's what happens when you start out the tournament with really solid averages. And that's the time when it's going to happen, too, when sometimes it's going to be more of a lopsided win.
Yeah.
Because some of the less skilled or experienced teams get stacked up against somebody like Sinister, who has been in the scene for a long time. And we've been seeing these names since Destiny 1 with a bunch of tournaments that we were casting kind of to wind out Destiny 1 after the DCS. But yeah, I mean, these guys are no strangers to the PS4 tournament scene, and they're showing it right now with their game up 2-0 to 20.
Yeah. All right, so we start with Ashley Harrison pushing in here on Radiant Cliffs. And kind of I've described this map as a kind of strange one. It's got some long open sightlines, but it also is very closed in. A lot of those sightlines are like down these long hallways, basically, where rather than it being open from multiple directions, you're still closed in. So it's a big open map that feels a lot smaller than it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it looks like Nico Wilco has actually switched over to a sniper, which is strange considering the success he's found on that shotgun and using that aggressive nature. But if we're talking about, you know, getting early picks and making a way to find advantages for your team, getting an early snipe is exactly how you want to do it. And I think that's just him showing up and saying, I want to get inside their heads a little bit. I want them to think about every corner they peek.
Yeah. So we're on prototype right now, and they've got there's all of the members. Okay, so that takes away the one person left that I was about to say. So 1-0 first round, it goes over to prototype. And so you know what I've been noticing in this game and in the last countdown game that we watched in the winners bracket final, is that without those revives, this game type goes a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
I think I prefer it, honestly, without those. Oh! Trying for a snipe, not able to do it. Very close. Nico Wilco going to move back up now. And I think most members of 20 were over there, but we had one maybe going for this wrap along the side. And, okay,
he wants
just waiting for that peek, but pulls it a little bit, not able to get that snipe. And now just trying to hand cannon it out.
Oh, my goodness.
He must have had some team help there because.
No, I think that's honestly just the power of Magnificent Howl, that buff that you get from hitting 2 consecutive quick headshots with the Luna's Howl or / Not Forgotten.
Yeah.
It has so much damage, and despite him being in that healing rift and having the overshield,
just take him
once Magnificent Howl procs, oh my goodness, the damage.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting in this game now watching with the snipers out because I think there's one over on 20 as well. I didn't see who had it, but it's just so different now to see going around a corner and remembering that you have to be aware of the sniper. You see that red glint of, oh, there's a sniper over there. And it's not something that these teams have had to be playing with, basically, because they're so used to having the white light of the shotgun. And so now it's just something you got to pay attention to. And it's 1v1 with Nico Wilco, and I think Ashley Harrison on the other side. Wilco just waiting here, either emoting for fun or emoting to get a little bit of a third-person look.
Definitely a bit of both.
Yeah, just a little bit of both.
Since it is not frowned upon in this tournament scene, I see why not. Why wouldn't you use it? It's fun. It's great for the viewership, but also you're able to get a little bit of that information, especially with as dangerous of a sniper as Nico Wilco is. You don't want to be caught just sitting there.
Yeah, and we just saw Ashley Harrison using that to and gets hit by the nade. Is Nico Wilco going to push that, do you think, and Ashley run away? Has anybody set a charge? It doesn't look like anybody has at this point.
I think in these kinds of situations, and I think that's what we're watching right now, Nico Wilco pushing over to set this bomb to force a situation. But and there we go. He didn't quite set it, but it's interesting watching Nico Wilco play in this kind of scenario because he got that.
He gets taken out.
He got that nade damage down on Ashley Harrison, but he wasn't able to push it because it doesn't have the shotgun. Ashley does.
Yeah. All right, so 1-1, and that was a little bit of a kind of a late round rally there as we finished it off with a 1v1. So starting up now with Ashley Harrison, who just made that final play on Nico Wilco to win that last round. And they are the setting team now, but we haven't seen a whole lot of focus on setting. So that's one down quickly, and then another. Ashley Harrison goes down to the shotgun of Massimo, who then also takes out Snoopy Dogg with a melee. That's a very quick wipe.
He was probably a little upset from having to stay dead for so long that last round during that 1v1. So decided to press the tempo there and remind 20 that they want to advance very badly.
Yeah. Hey, we want to keep playing. The more rounds you play in the losers bracket, that means that all of your stats get kind of pumped up and you can win. Ashley Harrison trying to take some shots, saw that sniper rifle in the corner, so Nico is probably somewhere over on that left-hand side in the hallway. Going to wait, though, for someone to pop up over in the back where this charge has been set in the cave. So going to push in with the super, and chasing them off of that rift and around the corners. And this is where it gets tough to maneuver.
Ring around the rosy.
All of those corners make it very difficult.
Oh,
and,
there we go.
Able to get one, but now Nico's out with that arc staff. That's what it's called, not arc blade.
I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that.
I know. But out with the arc staff, and they end up going down. That is another round win.
Absolute nightmare right now to Team 20 with his close range play. All I'm seeing is melee and shotgun constantly. His movement is so good to being able to close the gap. And not only that, but while the other team has their shotgun out, he's just out shotgunning. He's out meleeing. He's doing a better job in those close range situations. And that entire side of the map is all kind of close range situations.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how that plays in well. A little too far away. How that plays in well with the sniper, because you've got all of the ranges essentially covered. So we're over with Prototype, who still is going to have to defuse that. 2 down, so it's a 2v2 right now, swapping back over to Nico, who still has that sniper rifle out, and moving in for the defuse, while Massimo takes out one with a shotgun and takes out another, and that's everybody down. 4-1, Sinister.
Leave it to Massimo.
Going massive.
Just outright slay everything he comes across.
Yep.
He didn't have any support from Nico Wilco as far as damage from that. I'm not even sure if I saw a nade come out from Nico Wilco.
No, I don't think so.
Massimo
just
playing like a man on a mission.
Yeah, so now we've got side by side. Never mind, we've got Ashley Harrison on the screen, and sticking with 2 as 2 more go back through the caves. One right on top right there, and just barely escaping someone is chasing. All right, somehow survived that situation. Moving back up to platform 2, chasing, I think, able to get the trade.
He got
That's a double.
Collateral with that shotgun.
And that took out Massimo as well, who's been having quite a game. So you wonder if how that's going to play in here, because right now it is a 2v3 with Sinister being down. So now 20's got that numbers advantage. Nico Wilco just
back
up here
down
on the
to
platform.
2v2. The Dawn Blade was able to get a kill right there on Prototype.
Nico trying to take some shots, trying to snipe, but gets taken out by the headshot from Viper. And we swap over to Prototype. Last man standing.
And that's the charge detonated. And that's the round. All they had to do was stall them.
They did it. Okay. Never forget the charge. Especially when you think you've wiped the whole team and they've still set that charge. Don't forget that charge.
Don't forget it.
It's not a good idea you lose.
Yeah.
All right, so starting off with Prototype now in the Oculus. One pushing in, and that was Nico getting taken out by the sniper of Cherio. Back over to Ashley Harrison now. It is a 3v1. So they've got pretty good numbers here, pretty good odds, you would think, unless whoever's left over on Sinister is able to pull something magnificent off. Ashley Harrison pushing up, and there they are. It's Prototype around the corner, very, very close to death. Viper trying to push around the side. Here comes Prototype, and there goes Prototype.
And that's what you need. You know, you can't lose one round or you're out of the tournament.
Yep. Yeah, this is pretty much last chance 420. Not even pretty much. It is last chance 420.
What about 420?
Hush. Nico Wilco with the sniper out, just trying to get that game point and get the win and move on to the next round where they're going to be facing Descend. So up on top of the platform, moving down into the trench, and Massimo flanking that hallway entrance. Got the nade out. Nobody down yet. 2 supers on the other side. Okay, 1 down for 20, but 2 supers. Need to make sure that they don't use those. We get the charge set there. 1 super out, I think. Yep, there it was. Coming out, and got 1 with it. Nico Wilco now just trying to guard this hallway and guard that charge, which is set 2v2 now, and still still a super that's active right now over on the other side, or at least ready to be popped, not actually active, and that is a Daybreak.
Oh boy, and he's just got to try to avoid a little bit. That's Prototype going huge on 1 kill. He's just got 1 left to beat, and the bomb is going to explode. That is too little too late with the Storm Trance, and that is going to be Sinister taking this game 6-2 and the round 3-0 against 20. They will be moving on to the losers bracket finals to face Team Descend.
Yes. And while we get those teams set up, we will be right back. Actually, unless we get stats popped up. That'd be great.
We'll see you shortly.
Team that hasn't. Well, it looks like the winners bracket was all 3-0s going through that. And so far here at the end of the losers bracket, it's been pretty one-sided. So Sinister is clearly up top, though they have played one extra set of rounds or one extra set of games.
You play more games when you're in the losers bracket. That's
Yeah.
kind of how that works.
That's how you pad your stats.
These are padded a little bit, but the numbers that don't lie are going to be those efficiency numbers over there. I mean that right there, 2.15 as a team efficiency is really quite stellar. Moving through an entire bracket as a full team.
It's lower than it was though. They could be doing better.
It will keep dropping because they're
maybe they're going to play better teams.
Yeah. That's why it's going to keep dropping. So now next up, they're against Team Descend, who's sitting right there at that 1.49. You can see Prototype sitting at 161 kills and Massimo nipping at his heels at 151.
Yep. Though Massimo not on the board for top efficiency, where Nico Wilco leads it. And then it's kind of split right now between Sinister and it had to be us. Actually, it's pretty much exactly split. Sinister, it had to be us. Sinister, it had to be us. Sinister. So 2.35 topping it off. That's not bad. And I guess over on the overall kill side in terms of numbers, it's mostly Sinister. So, which again makes sense because they played that one extra game.
Yeah.
So efficiency-wise, though, that's going to be, if Sinister makes it through here, beats Team Descend, that's going to be a pretty fun game to watch, I think, because we're going to have all of the top overall efficiencies going into that. So looking at the start, we're going to be doing Supremacy on Javelin 4, and at the very least, we'll be playing through Meltdown, where we'll do Countdown.
And this is an interesting map to be doing this Supremacy game type, because there are those longer sight lines, and you're going to have to find a way to wipe the team to get into those, or try and force close range around corner engagements to be able to acquire those crests.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how exactly these teams want to manage that, if they're going to be going up. We're already seeing George move up towards this B side, so he's going to try and force those close range fights early on. And he is met with 3 or 4 members of Sinister immediately going down to the hands of Nico Wilco, still on that sniper rifle. Interesting that he's still on the sniper rifle, even in the Supremacy game type. So here we still have him, and there's a number of other members still going down. They're kind of trading back and forth. Couple crests lying on the ground. Nico Wilco still on the sniper rifle, so he's not going to be able to push in like he would, but he's going to be relying heavily on his teammates. That's going to be a body shot from the sniper rifle. And Massimo and Prototype cleaning things up like they do, up 14-5. At the moment, Prototype still in this center hallway area. He's got a couple members of Team Descend on the outside, a couple team shots going down, and immediately, as soon as he sees those crests appear, he's going in, and that's Midas Spam caught in the middle of that animation for the oh my god, my brain is freezing because I've had to talk so long. Prototype still up, and now 22-8, 22-9. 12-point game at the moment, so Team Descend starting to get a little bit going.
Yeah. Sorry to make you talk for so long, Xander. Bad decisions and phone calls coming through that you have to take. So with Midas Spam now up 20 or down 24-14, and Descend is down and still holding on to that 10-point lead, and gets that little. Gets
only
that
he's
out.
able to get one though.
Yeah, only one to start. So back over to Prototype on Sinister. Who was up, 8 minutes left to play here. Got one on the other side of that wall who was pushing in with the shotgun. They're able to team. One more kind of popping out. And Prototype should have a teammate that was able to wrap back around and do that, but gets taken out by the nade coming in from Nightmare Titan. So back over to Nico Wilco, still on the sniper rifle, and then gets taken out around the corner by Midas Spam. Nico Wilco spawning back up, 7 minutes and 45 seconds left to play right now. And
I'm going to draw this out.
I'll just milk this a second. Gets a nice body with the sniper.
Goodness. And I was just talking about how Nico Wilco playing on a sniper rifle may change his play style a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it has. Yes, he doesn't get to go on the shotgun tears, but if he's hitting those headshots, hitting those body shots, putting damage down while he's got a bunch of his teammates around to help clean up and push in with those shotguns, it's not really making a big difference. Their team is still in the lead, and his team is still aggressive and rallying behind him.
Yeah, the main thing to think about, too, is that we haven't seen yet in the entire course of the games that we've watched anybody playing with a sniper in Supremacy. And Supremacy, when you play with a sniper rifle, it kind of changes up the way you have to approach it, because if you're going to be getting kills with that sniper rifle or even putting damage down with that sniper rifle, you need your teammates to be constantly moving and constantly fluid. That was a nice little run there at the end before going down from George. But constantly moving and fluid so that you get a long-range kill, someone's going to pick up that crest, because otherwise there's not really any point to doing it.
Yeah.
If you take somebody out with a pick, that's 2 from the Blade Barrage. Oh, wait. No. That was Nova Warp. There's somebody had cast Blade Barrage right above that in the feed.
Gotcha.
But so you have to make sure that your team is always moving, and that's something that we've seen Sinister do pretty well over the past couple games that we've watched them play. Like I said, they're always split, and they're always trying to stick to a 2-2 in some form. A nice kill there with the arc staff, but gets taken out. And so because they're always able to come back, wrap around, and get those kills, it doesn't do as much harm as you would think to use a sniper, and can actually help. There's George, who's trying to get away, jumping through that hallway to try to get away from the sniper rifle, but gets taken out by the hand cannon anyway.
That's a good point. I mean, as aggressive as Sinister is being, having a sniper rifle on their team, just being able to put that damage down. And this is honestly, as long as he's sniping well, it doesn't really matter. And this is the only game type I can see it really hurting you a whole lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not mattering, because their team is up 72-49, only a couple points left to go to close this game out. 2 points left, and the way that how aggressive Sinister's been is just outstanding in controlling the pace of this game. Surprising that a sniper isn't hurting them.
Yeah. Nico Wilco moving back around the rock wall with 1, trying to get 1 more over on the side. Not able to get that shot, but they did get the kill, and that's going to be 1 more, 75 points. Sinister finishes off the first round with 1.
And, you know, it's interesting.
What's interesting?
They're playing consistently. You know, they've won now 4 games in a row that we've been watching over the course of this round and the past round. And they're able to continually play and continually get that momentum going for their team. We've just got it had to be us just sitting up there in the winners bracket final. They're up in the grand finals already, just waiting to see who's going to face them coming through the losers bracket. But they're not necessarily playing in a tournament setting. And you've got Sinister over here that just keeps winning games, keeps cruising through. They did lose. It had to be us 3-0. So they're going to have to change something up, but this might be what gets them to be able to change something up. But now we're looking on to this next game. We've got round 2 control. Can we get Team Descend on the scoreboard?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out. It's a good point you make about how it had to be us is going to be a little bit cold coming into this final match against either Sinister or Descend. And Sinister obviously has had the longest run here. Descent just lost, and we'll have this game, or this match, to essentially give them a little bit, get them warmed up again, and get a little bit more practice in. And that might be one of the reasons that Sinister did so well just launching in, is because they had just played a best-of-5 series. Really nailed their movement. They had been playing continuously up to that point. And Descend had to wait for them to finish up that series before they jumped in. So Descend might have had a smaller version of that, being a little bit cold going into the game.
Obviously, these guys aren't just, taking showers and eating while they're waiting.
Not allowed to play the game. My understanding is that you're not allowed to touch the game or even watch anything
unless it's tournament play.
Unless you're playing in the tournament. No rumble practice. No scrims with anybody else. That's not true. You can do that. So we're getting ready now to fly in to our second one. It's Control on Distant Shore, which we've seen a couple of times over the past few, or at least the last series. And I'm not sure if we saw Control on it What
Can we
did
just
do on
talk for a
Radio Shore?
moment about how great these graphics look and what an amazing job
Yeah.
our producer Eski has done on them?
Yeah.
I mean, these are looking fresh.
I think Anubis did the stinger.
Well, he's pretty great too.
Yeah. We like all these people.
Don't detract anything away from the man behind the curtain right
Yeah.
now.
Yep, just making this possible for us to sit here and talk about video games. Starting off with George, he's in the dark hall. I guess it's called tunnel now. I don't know. It used to be called suicide in my book.
Dark's one
That's why.
syllable. It's easy.
Yeah. So George gets taken out, spawns back up, and now pushing out from the cave into the river, and gonna have to get back together with the team. Not a terrible start. Now they did just lose Zone B. They had gotten it right at the beginning,
Oh, there's that sniper glint you got to watch out for
Yep.
from Nico Wilco.
especially on this map.
Oh, yeah. This is a great sniping map, especially because he knows there's going to be at least 1 or 2 members over here on this C, and he can line up a headshot fairly easily.
Yeah. And was able to get some damage down before I think Massimo moved in, and now he's going to try to get the other side of this rock. They're kind of dancing around it, doing whatever they can, and
What?
not seeing each
What's
other.
happening?
He's on the other side of the rock. I just told you. He eventually goes down. Prototype spawns back up here, though, and it is 13-7 with Sinister up on top at the moment with just over a minute elapsed. 13:40 left to play. Don't pick up that heavy.
Is not allowed.
Can't do that. George taking some shots, gets a nice hand cannon kill there. A bunch of back and forth as a number of trades happened. And
What
George
a
not able to
well-timed
finish
wall
that.
right there, but it wasn't enough. He was probably trying to bait in that slide
Yeah.
right into the wall and just be able to clean it up with a quick melee, but he meleeed through the wall and ended up being on the other side of it where a shotgun was waiting.
Yeah, not what you want. Nico Wilco moving back in through dark and gets got him with the melee there. Coming back around, trying to snipe onto zone B. A poorly timed reload right there coming out of the corner, but he's got one in dark. He's able to take him out with the headshot.
Baby.
And that's one of the reasons I would call that suicide. If anybody is zoning in on on the dark hallway, you've got a nice head glitch down at the bottom of the stairs. You've got other sight lines into it. Midas Spam trying to take that was Nico Wilco trying to take out Nico Wilco on B, but not able to do it and goes down himself.
Midas spam with the Luna spam.
Yep. Nico Wilco now just waiting, trying to get some of these lines and watch. He knows there's a respawn spot over there in the blocks.
And he's got great positioning. There's 3 members of Team Descend and a sniper coming out from I can't exactly see
Nightmare.
because pixels.
That was Nightmare Titan. Nightmare Titan on descend with the sniper. George tries to jump up, fly across, not able to make anything happen, though. Gets taken out mid-jump. It does kind of make you a little bit helpless. Back to Midas Spam now, who comes out and not able to get anybody there, but pushing up on Zone B. They do have the zone advantage, so they are down 11 points right now with 12 minutes left to play. And here comes the Nova Warp. Tries to get one, but the wall got in the way. And gets one
Did he get that
eventually.
first one? He did get Nico Wilco there.
Yep, but I think that was only after he got around the other side of that wall. So now trying to get around the side of the map, but only able to get the one. And we had another super out at the same time. You wonder if that's going to be an issue.
They're pushing for the triple cap right now, but you've got Prototype coming in with the Dawn Blade. Can he reset? No!
He can't. So now all of a sudden it is 38-37, 39 to okay, it's going to keep changing. 40-40 tied up with just under 11:30 left to play. And so that zone advantage that Descend has done well for him. It's gotten them up there. Prototype trying to jump in, takes up the follower. Still one more over in zone C and going to have to go back. The teammate has just gone down over there and going to have to decide whether or not to push. Waits for the Storm Trance.
Tickle
He's able
time!
to bait it out and get the shotgun kill before going down to George's melee. But that was a good way to take that down. So now we've got Sinister down 45-49, just under 11 minutes to play. Nico tries to get that shot off with the sniper rifle, not able to do it. Gets taken out. That's Nightmare Titan with the snipe down from farther away. And Nico, I don't think even knew that he was there.
I don't think so, yeah.
Prototype just finished capping Zone B, able to defend it with one hand cannon kill there against Nightmare Titan, who pushed in after that snipe. And now he's got one more on the far side. That was Nightmare Titan again. Must have just respawned over on the other side of that pillar. And so now 56-54, Sinister retakes that lead.
This is a much closer game than that first one. Team Descend proving that they can hang in this control match.
Yeah.
and it's going to 150, so we're about a third of the way there, both in points and score.
You mean time? Points in time?
That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
You're welcome. The points say 64 to
We are team.
66, but the score also says that. Okay, I wondered why they had stopped. And that is going down. Prototype to George, I think, just took him out. Switching over to Midas Spam from Descend. Almost said Destined. Now back over to Nico Wilco. Only a 2-point game right now. Under 10 minutes left to play. And now he's going to get double teamed, so he's going to have to be very careful. Tries dodging around, but his teammates had his back, but then he gets taken out.
Came in with the save there and just put down a whole bunch of fire. Oh, better be careful.
Well, we see one. It's a snipe off. He gets a body shot over there on, I think it was Nightmare that's using the sniper on the far side.
Too weak, man.
But then he goes down. Nightmare Titan takes out Prototype. We're over on Nico Wilco, who was pushing a little bit through passage into Shrine and able to get the elimination, put enough damage down so that Massimo was able to finish him off with the shotgun when he made that melee. Nico Wilco now just trying to zone off. Going to have to be careful about that sniper rifle coming in, and they're going to need to get some points on the board. They are down now 70 to 80, and Descend has managed to take and keep that zone advantage, pushing themselves up into the lead after being down, I think, 10 to 15 points earlier in the game.
Plenty of time left, but they are going to want to try. There's a Nova Warp right at his heels right there, and that could do some serious damage. There's one, there's two, but they're going to want to probably pop
get him again.
One of those supers pretty soon because they want that zone control. That is 4 down for Midas Spam.
One of those was another kill on Nico after he respawned from the kill. We love our spawn points.
I also love how long that super lasts.
It lasts a while. Prototype now pushing into Zone C, trying to get some shots, but it's defended by someone on Descend. He gets the rift down around the side, and then here comes the Daybreak. Going to get some of those swords out and trying to use it to push this zone. Now using that speed, again, we've said it before, but this is the fastest super in the game. You can go real fast, gets one through the wall, not through the wall, through that doorway on George, and he had one more pushing into Shrine. He gets another shot on him with the hand cannon, but not able to finish it up. Here's Midas Spam trying, but going down. Nico Wilco now sniping, but pulls it a little bit too high.
Oh, watch
Gonna have to watch out for the shield.
Captain America.
He's able to.
I mean, sorry, Captain UK.
Yeah. Don't you do that to them. Sinister and Nico Wilco, who we are watching at the moment, are down 104 to 89. It's not impossible to come back. It's only, 13 points right now, 104 to 93. And they've started making that move. They've got the zone advantage. Oh, he gets taken out by the shotgun. Coming in right through that door as we swap back over to Prototype. And Sinister trying to make this run happen. Hello, right in front of him. And was able to aid, but I think that was ended up being finished off by his teammate anyway. Prototype now has one in dark, pushing all the way through, back out, I'm assuming, and is kind of split. Normally he's not as split as we would see. He's going to get 2v1 with shots from dark. 106 to 99, 107 to 101. It's a 6-point game, playing to 150 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to play.
This is a pretty important moment right now. He doesn't want to go in and just die despite B being taken right now. This game is on a razor's edge with the way that it's going back and forth. And the next zone control, the next team to get 2 zones, and the next team wipe could decide the pace of the game and the way that the game's going. Wow, 3 members coming around almost at the same time.
Yep.
And that could decide who goes on to win this game.
Now we had a Storm Trance coming out from Descend that was legendary. He gets 1 to start. I think he took out Prototype there as Midas Spam pushing back up through the river and into the cave at Zone C, which they do control right now, so he's just going to try to defend. Prototype laying some shots down onto him from that pillar, and Midas Spam just bouncing back and forth between the platform opening here and C. He's got one in front of him, takes him out with a shotgun,
Great
gets a double.
placement. Great placement to move in right when both members of Sinister are moving in. They don't see him at all.
Yep. Now it looks like Sinister has taken another zone. Nope, there we go. They were just able, Descend was just able to get Zone B back. And here comes the Nova Warp again from Midas Spam. Able to get one to start from a little bit of a longer range. Gets another 2. So that's 2 from that Nova Warp. And this, that guy wasn't even looking. Gets Nico Wilco, who I guess just resigned himself to his fate. One jump. What a run right now
Wow,
from Midas Spam.
Midas Spam is playing out of his mind.
He just got 4 from that super and then follows it up with a shotgun kill. 134 to 116, and they have pretty handily taken the lead. Only 16 points for them to take this to points with just under 5 minutes. That's what I'm trying to say. Just under 5 minutes left to play here.
I would not count Sinister out at any moment, though. These guys have a way of turning the tides, and they're about to cap Zone C, which will put them in the advantage. We've got a supercharged right here, and they're only down 14.
Yep, and now he's going to try to fight off this Arc Staff. Moving across now, that's Nico Wilco coming out with the Arc Staff. He gets Midas Spam, and Prototype just trying to find somebody. Here he comes. He gets a sword off. Wasn't able to finish it, though, and now he was able to get that final shot in there and take that out to 127, 137, 10-point game, 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to play, but only 13 minutes till we get to that point cap of 150. Now George comes out with that Sentinel, takes out 1 just to start.
Unfortunately for Sinister, all of those kills were only on one zone. They just had Zone A taken from them by Team Descend. It's a 7-point game, and these zones are switching back and forth so quickly.
Prototype gets that nade out there, and they're just trying. They need to be able to hold this zone, but instead they keep bouncing back and forth and just taking the available zones. Now pushing for Zone C, trying to get a little bit of speed. Did he take that Stormtrance out? He was able to get it eventually before any kills came in, but oh, wait, no, he got 2 there. He got another, and then there was another kill coming in. So 6-point game as they finish capping this zone. That's going to give him the advantage. 5-point game and 3 minutes and 26 seconds left to play. This one is coming down to the wire because it's only 5 points left before Descend takes that lead. So now we switch to Nico, who's trying to get a snipe on Zone B, but might need to be a little bit more aggressive than that because that's going to pop a few more points up there. A nade comes out, and is Descend going to push on that and try to take advantage? And at the most exciting point, we freeze.
No! Oh, there we go. That will be,
wow, close game.
Yeah, wow. Team Descend taking that at the very last moment, able to capture Zone B. Sinister unable to pressure that when you know there were team members of Team Descend just floating around that B entrance.
Look at that Lernsey with 44.
And there was nothing they could do about that at the end. And that will be all tied up. Sinister, Team Descend. Team Descend responding with a very, very strong game. All members with positive efficiencies in that game. And so it just goes to show you that it wasn't just their controlling of the zones that was excellent and kind of just swapping around, but they were also slaying really, really well.
Yeah. That was my addition to that, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Bennett.
You are welcome. So, next up, Countdown on Meltdown, and we're going at the very least to Control on Wormhaven, so we will have another shot at Control, and if we get to the end, Survival, which we haven't seen yet today.
That's an interesting round 5.
Yes, interesting. Uh-oh. Sinister's overall team efficiency has dropped. It Had to Be Us is now on the lead with 2.12.
And all they had to do was not play.
Yep, look at that.
It Had to Be Us has taken the lead as team efficiency at 2.12.
Sinister down at a terrible 2.05 as their team efficiency average.
Just terrible.
Must feel really bad to be them. Just kidding. I'm not. Oh. Don't look up my stats.
What a weird way to cast, dude.
Yes, it's going to be very aggressive from now on.
We're just waiting for them to fly into the next match. And there you have it. That's what we were talking about.
722 overall kills. There's that 2.12 and 2.05, but still both of them holding their own above Descend, who's the next up with 1.19, so almost a full point of efficiency between those teams.
Overall kills, Prototype still topping that leaderboard. And of course, Team Descend in their in this match as well. George dropping down a little bit to the hands of the rest of Sinister, all 4 of them, because of the amount of games they've played.
Yes, it's skewed.
Skewed a little bit.
All right, flying in, Meltdown and Countdown. Hopefully that siren isn't coming through in the background.
No. Oh, well.
Oh, well. Nico Wilco and Prototype on the screen in the side-by-side.
All right, we've got Mount Down.
What are we doing? I'll watch outside.
Yes. George is gone. Here's Nico Wilco. We're still running with that sniper right now. Tries to get that first pick and gets 2 bodies.
Oh, wow. I thought for sure that was going to be a headshot, and no members of Sinister around to put the rest of the damage down on those enemies.
Yeah.
And it is still all 4 members up. Nightmare Titan striking first and second.
There's Nico Wilco. Oh, and hello. Nightmare Titan with the snipe on Nico Wilco popping up over that. Descend takes the 1-0 lead to start off. We switch back to George, who is still black screen.
Snipe the sniper.
Poor
And here's
George.
the end for minus spam. It's going to make it hard to play.
Yeah. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. Here's Midas Spam now starting off for Descend. They just took the last round pretty well after a little bit of a back and forth. That was a snipe coming through. Didn't land any shots, though. Got the rift down, but it's kind of up in the middle of nowhere. Nightmare Titan snipes Lernzel. And then we do have a charge set. Remember, that's part of this game type. Midas Spam pushing back through the outside, and then we switch to Prototype, who's over here in the back hall. He's got one over here who slid in. He was popped up above the doorway, going to try to bait another around that corner, and he does it. Takes out 2 there, but he's got one right on top of him. Going to have to be careful. Pulls out that hand cannon, and here's another around the side. They're trying to get that charge taken away, and he's just trying to melee his way to victory. It did not work.
His ability to acquire targets when he has 2 or 3 coming at him. This is just fantastic. You know, he put damage down knowing that the other enemy was around the corner, immediately switches to the other one, and it didn't end up working.
It didn't work, but
but it was great to watch.
yeah, he acquired them.
Yeah.
He just didn't finish them. Starting with Prototype now, and Sinister down 0-2. 0-2 would make more sense to say probably. Popping around the outside, and it looks like playing a little bit more cautious than we've seen them play in the past. Now moving for this outside push, and it's going to be Prototype all by himself moving in through Plaza and trying to get a different angle. Able to get the nade thrown up on top, and I think tag somebody with it. Now moving back around the side, and they're going to have to defuse this bomb, so that's probably what he's trying to move to. He's got one up. Nope, there wasn't anybody up there. We're over with Nico Wilco now, who's on the opposite platform on the landing pad, taking him out with the hand cannon. One down below. I'm going to have to be careful. Lets him kind of scoot out there.
Just hops around a little bit.
Yep, he's able to end that spree from Nightmare Titan, and they defuse the charge. So there's 1 point going back over to Sinister.
Sinister looking like they were caught off guard a little bit by how aggressive Team Descend was being. And then they were playing a control match for almost 15 minutes, and then had to switch over and change their mindset about how they wanted to play each one of these individual rounds. If you play it perfectly as a team, you only need to get 24 kills to win one of these matches. In a control match, quadruple that.
Yeah.
You know?
So now Prototype just swapped off after realizing he was going into what would have been a 2v2. But now he's got one on the other side of that wall, and looks like most of the team moving through that back hallway. Now he's just trying to escape, especially since he is the last one standing. Gets the nade to start, trying to finish it off, and he gets him. He's got one more, not able to do it. That's Legendary taking out Prototype. 3-1, Team Descend now.
Nice job by Legendary to not come around that corner at head level. I mean, as soon as he was coming around the corner, he was already vertical. He started out low, but then he went high, and I think it threw Prototype for a loop there to start. And he lost sight of him and went down to the shotgun.
Yep. Prototype in that situation so far has seemed, we've got an arc staff coming out too, but has seemed to prefer to have the high ground, to be jumped above the doorway when somebody comes sliding in.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that it kind of reversed on him didn't really work in that encounter. So that arc staff was moving and got one to start, but it's 2v2 at the moment. Swapping over to Nico Wilco, still sniping from back hall.
If they're able to win this round after the use of a arc staff by Team Descend, it will mean it'll be a huge win for the team of Sinister. And now they're using their own super, and if they get this defuse, there we go. That is a big round win for them. from using 1-to-1 supers, but being able to take the point off of Team Descend.
Yeah, that was a great job by Prototype using that Dawn Blade to guard while defending. He knew where the where whoever was finishing off for Descend was going to be coming through on one of those
2 alleyways.
2 alleyways. Yes, thank you. I was like, what is the word for an alley? Knew he was going to be coming through there and was able to use that Dawn Blade to just hold them off. So now Nico Wilco, we've got another super coming up. It's the Nova Warp. He takes out Lernsey, but as we swap back over to Midas Spam with that, he's going to have one more probably. No, he didn't finish it off with that nade out, and Nico Wilco just had another kill. So now Midas Spam going to have to be careful. It is 2v2, gets the Rift down, trying to get those shots off, but not quite able to finish it. Looking for one more around the corner. There is an active or a charged arc staff for Descend. No supers for Sinister.
No, that's actually on the side of Sinister.
Sinister has the charge, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Descend going to have to be careful with that. Trying to get in here to defuse this, gets that thrown out, but ends up going down. All right,
Don't get up close with Massimo. Man is a doctor, and his tool is a shotgun.
Didn't know he had a doctor. Nice. 3-3. It's tied up, and it's also tied up at 1-1 in the greater scheme of things. Midas Spam
all tied up. There's 1-to-1 supers, both of them storm trances. I mean, we can go further.
Yeah, everything is the same. Nothing is different. Midas Spam moving with the team. They've split, and now Midas Spam is split off on his own, trying to take out Nico Wilco, who's sniping from the back. Seeing if he can get that last shot. Nico Wilco kind of on the ropes, and he should be able to finish him off with that hand cannon. He did. Legendary comes out with the Storm Trance to try to push up. Hasn't gotten anybody yet, but Midas Spam and George both got a kill there. So now they've got 2 down over on the side of Sinister. So it's a 2v4. Descend should have this advantage, and they get the charge set. So now Midas Spam just waiting here, sitting around the corner, waiting for Sinister to charge in. Sinister does have 2 supers, though.
Yeah, and that's what makes this moment pretty interesting. And, oh, wait. I'm not sure if he cast it or not.
I'm not sure.
The kill feed went really fast. We'll have to see when he comes back up next round.
If he has a super or
not. But that's going to be both of Team Sinister down, with only one member of Team Descend going down in that exchange. It is 4-3 over to Team Descend. Sinister.
Nightmare Titan with 13 kills right now.
Wow. Okay, so both supers were still saved. We still have that suppressor nade over on that of the Titan.
Yeah.
14 Descend.
So Midas Spam now pushing back through the awning. Again, going split. He seems to be the one that does that mostly. Takes some shots, though. Ends up going down. We swap over to Nico Wilco, who I think did take him out. He was able to take George down despite going down to that Sentinel shield. All right, so there's another round win for Sinister.
You think these teams are evenly matched?
They might be. Which makes me wonder how the final with either of them will be against it had to be us. Prototype spawned up now, and going with a 2-2, they move on into the platform. Trying to get some shots. We found enough. Did you just throw his nade at the wall? Or did
that
it
was
make
weird.
It out?
I don't know.
That was interesting. Prototype now trying to take a little bit of a different angle around the side. Misses a few shots, but able to finish it up. He made more than Nightmare Titan did, but is absolutely going to have to think about waiting a second before challenging this radar. A little too far away for that. He's going to have one coming around behind and almost takes out Legendary, but not quite able to do it. So right now, it's 2-1. Descend only has one player left. Sinister has 2. Make that. Nope. Okay. 1-0.
Wow. Sinister with 2 back-to-back points to both tie it up and take the lead. They only need one more to take Game 3 home.
Nico Wilco starting off in Plaza, whole team moving together, and then he splits off to the inside storage bay. Looks like they're just waiting for the contact to see where they want to actually set it. We've got a little bit of emoting.
And because the Team Descend does not want to lose any members in this final part, you've got the Arc Staff, you've got a bunch of teammates on Team Descend looking around the corner with those emotes. They're being very, very careful. And that is 2 members, 3 members from Sinister down. And it is going to take a miracle for the final member to pull off and finish this game. And that's going to be the charge defuse. It is 5-5, folks. All tied up.
All tied up. All right, so moving forward, Midas Spam with Descend.
Oh, but then we've got Midas Spam. Yeah, he's really close. He's going to want to try and extend this round just a little bit, not go down early, because he has that Nova Warp so close to being charged.
And we've seen what he can do with that, so it's definitely an asset that they're going to want to have moving on in this. So just waiting now, waiting for some contact to come in. Looks like Nightmare Titan.
And he's not going to waste a moment. He needs to press with that before any other supers may have the opportunity to get charged on Team Sinister. It looks like he may be setting here. He's going to take the Firebolt damage. He's got to watch out a little bit.
Didn't go down, though. Still alive. Still has that super to use. One member of Sinister is down. Prototype just kind of sighting through these hallways. He's got two in front, one waiting over on the side in the room, and there's the Nova Warp. Midas Spam pushing through, should have one to start with.
And one team member left for Sinister. This is looking like it's going to be going over to Team Descend, barring any miracles on that of Sinister's side. And that is going to be it. Team Descend going up 2-1 in a nail-biter of a match, winning 6-5 against Team Sinister.
Yeah, it's a pretty close one. You could say it's about as close as it could be.
About as.
Yeah.
I think the only thing would have made it closer is if they were both down to one player each.
Every single round. You're right. That would be more exciting. All right. So Team Descend is now up 2-1 in the series. And so we're going on to what could be a game match.
Wow.
Game
Looking at the team efficiency of Team Descend and that of Sinister, it's almost a miracle the game was that close.
Yeah.
Very few members, from what I could see, of Sinister had positive efficiencies.
Yeah.
So, but they still brought it to 5-6. So, you know, the momentum is all in Team Descend's favor right now. We're going to be moving over to Control for the fourth match of the round. And we just saw right before this Team Descend taking that first win over on Distant Shore with Control. So they've got the momentum right now. Sinister's in trouble.
Yeah, Sinister's going to have to pull something out, especially since they lost that last Control match. So they're going to have to make something happen here. Looking at the overall efficiency, Sinister has dropped down to 2.03. Descend also dropped to 1.17. And yeah, that's just how it's sitting. Oh, nope, even farther. It's going to keep going down. It keeps changing.
It's going to drop. Oh, look, it went up to 2.02.
How about that? Oh, nope, and then now it's down under 2.
Yep.
Just casting the changes. So it had to be us still sitting up on the top with 2.12. Sinister probably holding at 1.98. Descend drops below Daydream.
Prototype still holding on to that overall kills with Learnsy, Barnsey, not sure. We'll have to find out.
It could be Barnsey.
It might be Barnsey.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know why anybody would spell with a lowercase l.
Because you can put a 3 after it and it serves as the post for your B.
I know, if it weren't being utilized as a B.
Uh-huh. If it weren't being utilized as a B.
What are we even talking about?
Whether or not that's a B.
I think it's Barnsey.
All right. Barnaby is playing. We're starting with Prototype, moving in here on Wormhaven.
Barnaby's your dog.
I know. That is a true fact. Prototype moving in through the burrow and going to try to get that initial cap on Zone B. Has one kind of cornered around, and here comes another. George gets that first strike in there. 3-1, a quick lead for Descend, and it's still pretty close, though. I mean, it's only been 30 seconds in this game in a 1-point game. Prototype spawns back up, going through the hatchery and back over to this kind of overlook. Oh, that is actually what that call-out is called, where you look through the window and overlook Zone B. And taking a look, you know, one of the interesting things about some of these maps in D2, especially some of the newer ones, that we didn't necessarily see. Nice series of kills there from Prototype.
Prototype! That was awesome.
That was not atypical. That was prototypical.
Nice.
Prototype sitting down on zone B now.
I think
They're
our
able to cap it.
producer's unmuted right now.
It just lets us hear the effect that we're having.
I love it.
It's
I
great.
love it.
And trying to get another around the corner, he jumps back, flying around, and they're able to get George there. A quick run for Sinister, 14-8, 13 minutes and 42 seconds left to play here. Prototype spawns back up, moving from the forest into courtyard. And now they're going to try to get zone A because they do not have the zone advantage. The zone advantage is over on the side of Descend. Descend going to have to get a couple more kills here if they want to make it work. There's a good start. George and Nightmare Titan coming through with 2. And another.
The way that this map is laid out, it does take something of a team wipe that like Team Descent has just acquired to take back that zone B. It's tough because there's so many avenues that you can be assaulted from in this room. You know, you've got both of these low end and then everything coming up from Overlook right there. It's tough, and it really does take a team wipe to be able to do that.
And the thing about the way that the spawn points are laid out is that a team wipe gives you a good deal of time because it takes a little bit of time to go from either of the main spawn points around zones A and B to get back to zone B, especially if that's the zone that's contested. So that's probably the one that you're going to end up seeing flip more often than not, just because it's easier with them laid out pretty much in a straight line to get to zone B. And so here we go again with Sinister trying to recap zone B, and they're able to do it. They're up 20-18, but it's a pretty close game.
Another one of the things that I've noticed is if you are controlling the majority of the map, let's say A and B, if you push over that middle line and just past like the 2/3 line, even just a little bit, you're going to start forcing spawns behind you. So it's a delicate balance that you want to try and strike between controlling absolutely that middle area and pushing way too far and making them spawn behind you, because you want to keep the enemy in front of you the whole time. You want to try and just control 2 zones and trap them on that one side. You don't want to keep flipping around. And I mean, honestly, some of these teams might favor them to try and just hold on to B and constantly be switching between A and C. But I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, it would just be difficult. Like possible, but difficult. Nico Wilco on a nice little run there. Had a kill in the super. Almost had another, and then just followed it up with one there. 42-24. Sinister's really running away with this one.
In my opinion, doing that, switching between A and C and just trying to lock down B, I feel like would try and spread your team a little too thin.
Yeah.
And here is a super off. Is he able to take out the arc staff? Not quite yet.
No, he bounces away,
He's
running
going to
back.
run away.
Oh, Mike gets
suppressor
suppressed
nade!
there. Didn't get suppressed. He was right outside of the range of it, but still only got one more sword off, so it didn't really make anything major happen. I don't think Prototype was able to get anybody with any of those slashes. Now just sitting around in Zone B and trying to defend it, which has worked so far, 50-29, just under 11 minutes left to play here. And it looks like there is a bit of a push coming in through here, able to get him with the shotgun, started it off with the hand cannon, followed it up with the shotgun. Gonna have one in there, gets him with another. That's legendary going down. Prototype has 2 all of a sudden, and Nico with another kill. And so now about a 30-point lead for Sinister. And if this keeps up, we're going to a game 5.
We just had both Midas Spam and Massimo in their respective supers with Nova Warp and Storm Trance, and they actually traded both. I'm sure there was other members around putting damage down, but they were able to trade that, and so effectively nullifying that really strong Storm Trance.
Yeah.
I mean Nova Warp. I mean, both are really strong, but
Legendary just got, I want to say, most of a team wipe there with that Storm Trance coming out for Descend. And Descend still down 20 points, so they're going to have to make up some distance. That was a nice little push in from Midas Spam, able to get that melee and avoid the shotgun. He's going to have one more around the corner, but he's got a number of other members of Sinister coming around there too. Gets the rift down before getting chased down the corner. Not able to land that shotgun, though, and goes down.
Cheeky dodge right there. And, well, talking about the fact that they didn't have the zones, or they still have a long way to go to try and catch up.
Yeah.
That team wipe right there with the Legendary's Storm Trance, it did cause them to be able to get Zone B. And now, again, of course, that's flipped back over to Sinister once they got that wipe in turn. Wow, it's the syllables. They're messing with me.
The words, they have trouble. So we're with Prototype, and Sinister gets another kill there, 72-49. 9 minutes left to play.
You know, the parts of the words that you have to talk,
Yeah,
and
right?
speak, those are the ones that I have trouble
They're
with.
the tricky ones. A bit of a brawl going on over in Zone B as Prototype comes in and casts that healing rift to help out a little bit, trying to cap it. They were down in zones, which let Descend make a little bit of a run, but not really. And now Prototype going to go down to Team Shot, getting finished up by Nightmare Titan as a, well, we've got 2 supers, Sentinel Shield and an Arc Staff on either side.
I don't know which one I'd rather be.
I'm not sure. Well, with the, well, you can defend with both, so who knows? A shot there, and that was George going down, so it looks like his shield finished up without anything
Oh,
really
boy.
happening. Here comes an Arc Staff.
He
Nightmare
got him.
Titan takes him.
That was a trade between
Yeah.
the Arc Staff. That is,
We limited it to 1.
I've never seen so many supers being shut down than I have in the series that we've been watching today.
There's been a lot of shutdowns, and so now Nico Wilco pushing in through this side. He's got one with a shotgun on the far side of that door. Another up here in what became a 2v1, and trying to follow that up. He was able to, got him with the shotgun 5-kill streak. Reload that, and they could almost have gone for that triple cap. Looks like C is getting taken.
They still might be able to stop it. They are, and they're going to be able to get Team or A. So they may be. There's the power play. They are
There it
looking to lock this game up and move over to Game 5. Let's see how long they can hold on to all 3 zones. This would be an opportune moment to use your supers if you got them.
Yeah, just push it up.
But Midas Spam trying to mitigate a little bit of the damage.
Pushing in with that Nova Warp. Should have one there in the courtyard. Has had 2 so far, including that one. And now down to Zone B, but he's caught flying up and just kind of floofing there and gets taken out by some shots. He was a little bit helpless. Prototype sitting down on Zone B, trying to go for that triple cap again. Not going to happen. Zone A is down, so now they have 2. But they've got a pretty good lead right now of a nice, it could be bigger, but a small cushion of 60 points. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to play, 122-62. And it's impressive to see how Sinister has come back from losing that first control match to absolutely dominating this one. And I wonder how much the map has played into that.
Not only the map, but the game type. They're able to play the tempo that they want. Yes, this is a different outlook than we saw from the other control map, and the map has a lot to do with it. But the game type is definitely tough because they looked like they were struggling a little bit on that countdown map. And I think they did pretty well on Meltdown the prior series.
Yeah.
Now they've got to go, assuming they win this game and they only have 18 points to close it out. Now they've... And I swear he's going to shut it
Did
down.
he not get it?
Is he going to shut it down?
No, he didn't. And so Legendary comes through and is able to
He
get a
gets
kill.
it!
But there he goes. He gets it with the shotgun. 14 points left. What were you saying?
They've got to go to survival next.
Yeah.
And that is a slower game type. I mean, you're respawning consistently, but not much. Your ghost has limited power. And you can only...
You don't need to do that.
And you can only respawn so many times. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what kind of momentum they take from this match going into a much slower game type.
Yeah. It's a nice finish there. Just trying to get enough points to finish this up at this point. Trying to take another zone here. We've got Prototype and Sinister taking him out with a shotgun. And another super coming in. Blade Barrage gets 1 on Legendary. Prototype coming in from above, taking him out with a shotgun melee. There's a little bit of a streak. We've got an Arc Staff coming in, but at this point with 2 points to go, I don't think Descend is going to come back, and I was right.
Yo, great bet right there you just made with yourself.
Yeah. I won that bet.
Outstanding.
All right, so we're going to Game 5. Game 5 is going to be Survival on Endless Veil. We haven't seen this yet.
We have not. We haven't even seen Survival.
Yeah, we haven't seen Survival.
We saw Endless Veil once, I believe.
Did we? Yeah, we did. The very first game of the first series.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, going over to first Survival match. This is like one of those tense moments. So you know that it's tied up. You know it's 2-2. And the winner of this moves on to the grand finals. To face it had to be us. This is just kind of the tournament organizers just planting a tricky one for just getting inside the minds. Like, it's got to be a slower game type. It's very, very, like, you have to be very careful every single moment of this game, and they're just saying, you know what, we're gonna make sure that they know it.
Better be careful. You better survive. maybe that's what they said.
Say what?
What I just said. They might have said that.
Oh.
They probably didn't. But maybe.
But maybe.
And here we are. Survival. Endless Veil. Round 5 of the losers bracket final.
Loser is eliminated. Winner moves on to face It Had to Be Us in the grand finals. They have to beat It Had to Be Us twice.
Nico,
But here we go.
Nico Wilco starts out. We have a couple grenades off, but a healing rift on the corner. Able to take out Legendary with the hand cannon, jumping back up. Going to have to be careful of that Cubby. We had one going into Drain. I just said be careful of that Cubby, and he gets him with the shotgun. There you go. And one chasing down into Drain. Going to have to be careful to not get taken over by the rest of the team who might be down there.
Oh, Nightmare Titan coming out of that bowl.
Oh, not a great place
Like
to
a
reload.
Nightmare. That's 3 back-to-back kills for Nightmare Titan to even this up. 2-2 lives left.
Nightmare Titan has been doing some work when it comes to these competitive round types. We already saw him go huge when we did Countdown, and so now getting a number of other kills here. Legendary going down. That's 2 for Barnesy.
Barnesy, yeah.
Barnesy. We're calling him that now because it looks like a B. Nico Wilco moving around from Shrine, and it's 0 lives to 0 lives. Actually, it's pretty much even, except that Sinister has 1 more life because there's 1 permanently down for Descend. So trying to wait, moving around this corner here, taking a little third-person peek. Taking some shots in at Legendary. Not able to finish it off. Gets the nade out there, but the nade does not tag. Legendary backed off just enough to get out of that. We're going to have 1 around the corner here as we swap over to Prototype, who is on the other side. And that is a round 1 win for Sinister.
And we only are going to 4 in this survival game type. So they are 25% of the way to sealing the deal.
They're 1/4 of the way.
They've got a long way to go. Team Descend matching them at every corner.
So Prototype pushing out over Shrine to start, gets the nade down there and got some tags, but here comes a nade on the other side, able to get the healing rift down. Now that will be seen. 1 jumping over the top, but he's able to get him with the shotgun. And here comes the super. The answer is no. George takes him out. Wait, was that a super?
No, it's just an
okay.
overshield created by the One-Eyed Mask,
Okay.
I believe.
You can't use One-Eyed Mask.
Why not? Oh, right, because it's broken.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm sorry. I kept thinking that, yeah, they can use, any exotics, but we do have a select number of exotic armor pieces that have been banned.
Mainly the ones that just help you build super.
And are
Exceedingly
broken.
quickly. And yeah. Nico Wilco here in mid. Thinking somebody must be on that healing rift, but not. Taking a quick look there. And then he had 1 who was pushing up. Nico Wilco and Sinister are out of lives. 3
punching
over on
people.
Descend.
Nobody's looking at him.
And still survived that and took out Nightmare Titan.
Wow, they were down in lives up until that moment when Nico Wilco just went to work boxing his way out of that corner, taking out 3 members of Team Descend, and it is all tied up. They do have a man down, so it is 3-4.
Nico must have thought he was out shopping on Black Friday. Just throwing bows and taking names. Nico Wilco now here in mid with the rest of the team. Buck gets taken out. I think that was a nade to start and then finished up by the hand cannon. We're over here now on
I think
Descend.
you underestimate the burst damage from Not Forgotten.
I might underestimate it.
It chips, then it chunks.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Descend wins that round 1-1, and we move into round 3. Starting off on Midas Spam this time from Team Descend. And we're going to push over into blocks, probably get no, he doesn't even have a nade to throw out there, but wait for that team shot encounter that often happens, moving back around for the move. But he had been beat around the side. Massimo should have been able to have that kill, but Midas Spam did it himself. Kind of just was able to track him down and slide it. Nightmare Titan came out with that arc staff. Hasn't gotten anybody yet, just waiting for it to show up. Midas Spam does have a super ready to go. And you know that Nova Warp has been effective, so probably just waiting for the right time to use it. Right now, they are up 5 lives to 2, so they're doing a decent job in this round.
These supers are going to be the deciding factor in this game. How they rotate through them, how they use them to build orbs for their teammates and use them in later rounds. There's not much time to get a second super in this game, and how they effectively use it. Sinister's able to bring them down to 2 lives. But is it going to be enough? They have 3 members down, but all 3 of those members have supers.
Yeah, there's a lot of supers here. So we're going to have to see if we start seeing some of them. We've seen 1 or 2, but at the moment, 3 to 4 with 2 lives left over on Team Descend. So Sinister going to have to play this smart, okay, or go down to a bullet. We're still watching from Prototype, and there's another down. That's all 4 down. 2 to 1, Descend goes up.
That's a tough decision right there. Being in the situation where you have no lives, you only have 3 members up. The other team has all 4 members up and 2 lives available. You're tied in the available supers. Do you opt to use any of your supers, or do you just say, screw it, we'll go for the next round, we'll reset and try and get them on the next time? And that's what ended up going down. I think that if they were able to get any neutral game kills with their primaries, then they were going to probably opt to maybe go for some more super kills and seal out the round that way. But that's not what ended up happening. But look at this surge, up 2 lives.
Yep, 3 to 1. Oh, don't fall off. We had that Nova Warp come out from Midas Spam. It doesn't look like he was able to actually get anybody with it though.
Nope, and it goes down.
Yep. So there's that's a super wasted. It looks like, because he wasn't able to make it actually work. Nico Wilco and Sinister now backing off on that midway. He's got 1 teammate over here around Shrine, going to try to help him out with that shotgun. And they take another round, 2 to 2. All right, tied up. 2 more rounds needed to win.
I'm calling it here. That Nova Warp not having any production in kills is going to be really big in this game. The fact, and you might not think, yeah, we've got 2 more, but the fact that if you don't get any kills with that, or even just get 1, it comes around eventually.
Massimo was out with the Storm Trance. Wasn't able to get anybody yet, but there's Barnesy and Prototype with 2. Able to get 1 on Midas Spam, though. There's Massimo with that Storm Trance. Nico spawns back up, and they do have the lives advantage. It's 5 to 3. 2 supers available for Descend, 2 supers available for Sinister. One of those supers is here on Nico, who's got the Arc Staff. And here comes, and he's going to get taken out from behind before he can even try to follow up on that Storm Trance. And there's Midas Spam. Midas Spam with a bunch right there, all of a sudden taking out Barnesy and Massimo before he gets taken out by a shotgun. Then Prototype coming in, taking out George. 1 to 1 on lives. Nico Wilco trying to shoot in there on Nightmare. Not able to finish that up. Moving back around to the corner here. And now trying to finish that up. Not able to do it, but he trades out. They got the nade up on the platform. Another nade out. And there's Midas Spam around the back. Pops that healing rift. Daybreak coming out of Prototype. So here's one of those supers that was charged up. A shotgun kill from Barnesy on Nightmare Titan as well. 1 live to 0. And he's Nico Wilco able to knock 1 more out. So that's 1 down permanently. It's 0 lives to 0. And they should, I think, still have, there's both the respawn. So it's a 4v1 right now.
Still tied on supers. 4 to 3 on mans on the field. That's going to be 4 to 2. There's still Sentinel Titan available for Team Descend. And it's actually active.
Oh, yep, there it goes.
There's 1 member of Sinister down, and he's trying to get a second around here on the backside of Gulch.
Nico's doing a good job of juking him, but he ends up juking right into George's shotgun. It's 2 to, and now it's 1 to 1. We are on the final surviving. It's going to be Barnesy versus George. We're just going to be swapping around.
And a little bit of a, and George.
Down.
On one of the top leaderboards for efficiency and kills.
By George, he's done it.
By George, he's done it, and now they are up 3 to 2. Sinister's backs against the walls. They've got to use every tool available to them, and all the while, you're not using this arc staff. You've got 4 supers charging on Team Descend. One of them just being used. But
there's the arc staff now. Nico Wilco starts off and gets 1, and then another arc staff is going to come out from Nightmare Titan. he got one to start, picking up Barnesy. Got another, took out Nico Wilco. So Nico Wilco only able to get one kill with that arc staff. And now Prototype trying to jump over and get the melee, but the shotgun hit didn't proc. He eventually is able to follow that up with the hand cannon and take him down. Moving over into Shrine, able to avoid the range of that arc bolt. Going to have to be careful peeking that. Comes out at head level, trying to take a couple shots here, and you might have somebody about to push him around the corner with the tree. 4 lives to 2. Sinister is up in that sense. Got to be very careful not to get taken out there. And gets taken out trying to move to a different piece of cover. So now 2 lives to 2. We wait for Prototype to spawn back up here.
Team Descend able to just sit back and let the kills come to them. Still up by 1 life. Now, Sinister does have that Blade Barrage, but that can only be good for like 1 or 2 kills max, depending on how much Team Descend bunches up. And you know they're talking to each other and telling them not to do just that.
Yeah. Midas Spam watching. He knows he's got somebody who might push him down from inside on the drain at the temple. And just waiting for that to happen, kind of. They're up 1 life to none. When on this being the game point, it looks like Sinister has started playing a little bit more passive. Midas Spam trying to get a look at where you might need to be. Moving back around through mid, takes a couple shots. There's Blade Barrage. Gets 1, but only 1, like we talked about. It was only going to be good for 1, maybe 2 at best, unless they clumped up. And now they can play together a little bit more because they don't have to worry about that Blade Barrage coming in.
Now, note, Midas Spam is coming up on that second Nova Warp. He didn't get much done with it the first time, but this is the time to close out this series if there was ever a time to get a bunch of kills with it.
Yeah.
He's really close. And we also have a Storm Trance on the side of Sinister. We're about to see Void versus Lightning in just a moment, guys.
Going to come down to it. 0 lives to 0, 4v4. Game point for Descend. 1 goes down for Descend.
Yeah, they might use it this round.
It wasn't the Nova Warp. Nova Warp's still up.
Yeah, here's Midas Spam with that Nova Warp. And we're also coming up on time. 23 seconds left. And if it goes down like this, nope, still 4v3 right now. Descend has that advantage. Midas Spam pushing around the outside. I think they're just going to try to wait it out because if they get to time, they should win with 4 lives.
They won't
versus
win
3.
because the lives, they're not technically lives when they're just being up. But they will be able to use, look, that's a Nova Warp that's down. So now it is Sinister's game to win. Oh, but now we also have Sinister. Oh, wow.
All right, Nico Wilco here on the center with it. We've got a Storm Trance coming in through the center, and Nico Wilco just trying to wait that out. They've got 43 seconds left of the 1-minute overtime, and there it is. That was Sinister who came up with that round, and now it's tied up 3-3.
Wow, and I think that they may still have the Storm Trance available to them. Yes, but that is against 2 supers.
Well, Nico Wilco's about to have his super.
Well, yeah, okay. So it's about to be 2 supers.
So here we are on Nico Wilco.
There's a Nova Warp from Mida. He gets 2 quickly.
That is a good start from that. Now Nico Wilco just trying to run away and not get caught by it, using the walls as best he can to dodge, but he's going to get taken out right there at the end by the nade that gets thrown out. So Midas Spam now pushing back in through the Cubbies, grouped up with the team. They're up 4 lives to 2, 2.5 minutes in this final round, which is at 3-3 for this tied-up tournament at 2-2. So this is the game match round of the match. What is going on? I don't know. It's not going to think about it. Midas Spam tries to go and take out that Storm Trance, not able to do it. Massimo takes him down, and then 2 quick kills. 1 more from the Storm Trance, 1 from Nico. And we jump back in with Prototype. Now they have the advantage. 2 lives to none.
Oh, my goodness. Those are the kills they absolutely needed. Being down the amount of lives they were, they still have 1 super available.
4 lives left for Team Descend. They do have a Sentinel available to them, and there's an Arc Staff on the side of Sinister. So now Prototype, there's the Sentinel, and he comes through, almost misses getting Prototype. We were watching. Nico underneath goes down. No lives to none. We should have 2 more respawns coming in for Sinister, and then it's going to be a 4v4 to the end. Well, looks like
they still have their Arc Staff, so the Arc Staff was able to respawn with available lives.
Yeah.
And now he's got the Arc Staff. Let's see if he can get any kills. There's 1.
So Nico pushing up through the Shrine, trying to get another. I think he just got Legendary there, unless that was the other one. And now there's another. Nope, we're seeing the active super here. We swapped over to Midas Spam from Team Descend, who's just trying to wait out over top. He's going to get tagged by that nade. No, it doesn't look like he actually got tagged very much. So now just kind of waiting here. Shotgun out. There's somebody back here. Jumps over and gets him, but he's the last Guardian standing. 2v1. Midas Spam running through the temple, moving back outside into the gulch, and he can see them on the radar. They're down in the drain. And Prototype, one of the remaining players over for Sinister, up here on the shrine waiting with his teammate. And it looks like they're just kind of waiting out, trying to get Midas Spam to come out, and they're just going to wait for time at this point and then try to play in the overtime.
Team Descend's success relies solely on whether or not Mida can double team Sinister right now. He doesn't have a super coming up at any time. He's got to rely on the fact that maybe he can get a pick with some clean, not forgotten shots. But he's looking at two members with overshields right there on the B flag.
Now you wonder if they're going to pursue him after that. He gets his rift down, and they were standing on their rift, which gave them that advantage. Going to try to get him with the hand cannon. He gets one to start. It's a 1v1 to finish this off. Midas Spam jumping back over the top. He's going to try to lead with this nade. He throws it out, gets some damage down, but not a whole lot. Runs away. He's in trouble. His healing rift goes up right at the last second, so he's not able to get that health back. And now it's Prototype versus Midas Spam. But here he comes. He's trying to get him. He gets the Phoenix dive to get some health back, and now he's got Prototype up on the top as we swap back over to Midas Spam. Xander is standing up with his face inches from the screen, and it's time to cap the zone. He's 35 to cap, but he goes down. Not able to finish that off.
The most intense 1v1 situation I've seen in such a long time. Whoever dies is eliminated from the tournament. What a showing from Mida to take that 2v1 to the face and get one down early with some quick spam from the Not Forgotten and then turn it into a 1v1 on the point. Oh my gosh.
The fact that we ended that up with the 2v2, or the 2-2 points for the overall round score, get to the final round of the best of 5. So we're on round 5. The score is 2-2. It's survival, which we take to a 3v3 game match that comes down to a 1v1 in overtime.
On the point. That round could not have been any closer, and Prototype just barely eking out the win over Midas Spam.
And we're going to have an ad coming up, so we'll let that play.
I'm down actually. Actually, I'm.
Swattiest, bro.
Okay.
All right, so we are back. We are at the final. What?
Had to catch my breath a little bit there after that finish that we had.
Yeah.
That was pretty insane. We are here at the final, like Bennett was saying, with Sinister, and we had to be us. The last time these two teams met, it had to be us.
They didn't mean.
There's got to be a faster way we can say that.
It had to be us.
IH to be you.
That's harder. That's harder to say, I think. We call them us, maybe. Had to be. Had to be kind of rolls off the tongue.
I like had to be.
Cool. Had to be. So we've got it had to be. I'm not going to go. I'm just going to say the whole name. It had to be us. We've got Azir here starting from center, and we are starting with Supremacy on dead. No, that doesn't seem right. Supremacy on Burnout. I looked at the second round. And just for a little bit of background, so this is a double elimination tournament. The way this is being played right now is for the grand final. It had to be us has not lost a match throughout the entire thing. If they lose, we go to another best of 5 series. If they win, it's fine because Sinister has already lost once. So that you lose twice, you're out. But Sinister has played in from after losing to this same, it had to be us team, 3-0 it looks like. They're going to try to come back in and actually make something happen.
I wonder if these guys are emotionally ready for a brand new series after taking that last one as long and as nail-bitingly as it possibly could have been.
Yeah.
And they've got to hop right back into this fresh it had to be us, who has gained a 16-point early lead.
Yeah, not an ideal start. As ideal as that seems, a nade coming out on Prototype. He's going to get hit. He will take someone down. There are a bunch of crests for the taking in there. I'm not sure if they actually picked him up. It doesn't look like. No,
Elusive goes
here
huge.
we go.
He's on a 10-kill streak after getting 2 grenade kills and a hand cannon headshot. And the rest of the team just sweeping through.
Azir jumps in with that shotgun, takes out one, then another. And we've got Massimo trying to go in, but right now it had to be us are just dominating this Sinister team. They had a bunch of crests to pick up out there. It's 43-15 with just under 8 minutes left to play as Azir kind of just sighting in through there. He's got Massimo in front of him and going to have to get away from that. Is Massimo going to pursue it? It doesn't look like it. A smart choice, though. Azir does come back up and look before that health had gotten regened. You know, he had one more pushing off to the left-hand side. There's one on the right-hand side of the door. That's Massimo in a rift that did not matter. He's got one in front, going to try to get him with a melee, but Barnesy takes him down. That's 3 real quick for Barnesy. He takes a hand cannon shot, a melee, and a shotgun kill
and then he
for
just
the
took
triple.
out the Nova Warp too.
All right, big plays. Big plays for Barnesy as we're watching Prototype now. Also with Sinister, going to go back and recover his teammate's orb, or crest. Now moving back into the side. He had one on the staircase, almost missed him with the shotgun, followed it up with the hand cannon, and was able to make that happen. He's had some bad luck with the grenades. A lot of them have gotten stuck on walls so far in the tournament that we've been watching.
I think he needs fastball.
Maybe,
On
yeah.
one.
Give it a
One of his
little
arms, yeah.
bit more distance there. A little bit of a freeze on Prototype here. He's having some trouble. We can see the score is 61-32, so a very small buffer of 30 points or so.
And not to mention, with this game type, we're not going to the original like 150 that we would go to and control. We're only going to 75. This point cap is nearing really quickly. This game is going so fast for it had to be us.
So fast that it's just frame by frame by frame. We're only seeing it in bits and pieces. Okay, it's coming. It's going to come back through in a second. I hear it. Prototype spawning back up, moving at normal speed again, moving in through the main door up into center. He's got one up on top of the bridge. They've got a little bit of distance to make up. 71-44. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to bring it back in the next 5 points, as it had to be us has just been running through them like a hot knife through butter made of Guardians. Prototype runs back into that nade and gets taken out, and that's a full team wipe, it looks like, coming out. That's the 75-point limit. That went quick.
Wow, it had to be us absolutely dicing Sinister in this opening game of the grand finals. Look at those kills. Look at the secure rates, all very high, 50% or above on the team of it had to be us.
Yeah.
And then a couple dropping below that 50% mark when it comes over to Sinister. But man, what a great job for it had to be us to come out swinging and set the tempo for that match, which the tempo was fast.
The tempo was almost rushing. Yeah. So next up, we're going to be playing Control on Javelin 4, which will probably play out the way you would expect Control on Javelin 4 to play out. They've got 3 zones, A, B, and C. One is in the middle.
Just going to break down
One
control on Javelin
Yeah.
4 to
One's
its
outside
very
on-
core.
One's outside on the pad, and the other one is over in the fuel area past glass. There's going to be an opening exchange, probably around Zone B. They're going to throw out some grenades.
B's back by Zone B, so.
Yeah, it's in the Zone B spot. This is very helpful. I'm sure everyone loves it. Nico, Wilco, and Prototype on the split screen. I'm wondering which one we're actually going to end up swapping to when we go in. It'll be a surprise. How do you think Sinister, how do they adjust? Because obviously it had to be us, has not suffered any ill effect from being, out and not really doing anything for the past hour and a half or so that we've watched Sinister kind of fight their way through. How would you say the best way for them to adjust? What would you say the best way for them to adjust is?
Well, I think that they just had their first bad taste of a new series. And honestly, like I was saying, emotionally, I don't know if they were ready for it. Coming off of that barely scraping by win to make it to this. I mean, there was the difference of like 30 health on a Guardian on Prototype, and it moved them into the grand finals. It wasn't a very large margin. Team Descend just barely getting eliminated there, and Sinister's got to turn around and face an absolutely fresh It Had to Be Us. So I think what they have to do is maybe just take that game and use that loss right there to reset and know that they have to go another 5 games. They know they have to go right back into it. And, we'll see if they're able to do something like that. It's a different game type now. They're going back over to Control. They love it. We'll see if the sniper comes back out on Nico Wilco over here, or if he just opts to stay on that shotgun because of the close-range nature of this map.
Oh, the map screen was incorrect, we're hearing now. So this is Endless Veil. This is not Javelin 4. So all of that great information that I shared is a lie.
I think it all still works, though.
There's B, it's in the center.
B's still over on B.
Yeah, A is on A. Thank you. There's a little bit of an exchange there starting off. Lots of nades dropping down. It looks like most of the teams went off on either side of Shrine rather than trying to do some exchange in the middle, though there was a nade there. Nico Wilco taken down quick, but trades with Azir, and that's the first points in the game. It's 1-1. Nobody's taken Zone B yet. Saya is trying to get up there on Shrine and actually lock it down. And here comes all of It Had to Be Us. Looks like they were able to get that initial encounter done, 6-3.
But there you go. What you have right there was Sinister pushing around on the lower side of the map and just opting to take away It Had to Be Us's A zone.
Yeah.
And it may not end up mattering for very long, but at least for the time being, It Had to Be Us is at a zone disadvantage despite having that Zone B.
Yeah, and so now Saya just going down there, but with the zone advantage and just under 14 minutes to play. So in the opening minute, I would say that It Had to Be Us probably got that advantage, having 2 zones, having a little bit more on the lead there as we freeze up a little bit. We're hearing it's an OBS issue on the other side. So here's Saya now moving back in. From what I can see, Zone B is being taken by Sinister.
At least for the time being.
Back up. Yeah.
But, sometimes OBS, when they're trying to bring in all of these different streams, it can slow it down a little bit. So.
Oh, BS.
Oh, God.
I don't believe you. All right, so just waiting on – that's an interesting freeze frame. It's like just kind of fire and –
a disintegrating body from
it's interesting. It's very interesting. Let's take a look at it from the
from a game design standpoint, really.
Look from a modern art standpoint.
Oh,
yeah. It's interesting.
Nice, good job. Cubbies.
It is interesting.
Well, I'm hearing audio.
Cap that.
All right, we're going to get some frames back here in just a moment. 22-19 in favor of Sinister. So they have regained a little bit of map control.
Yeah.
Not even really map control, just kill control. Because they're still down 2-1 in zones.
Yeah, but somehow able to bring it to just within 1. Well, I guess 2-1 for, So, yeah, somehow able to take the lead now, only having 1 zone. Now they're going to cap Zone C and pump that up to 2 zones. So now they've got the advantage that they can keep up the slaying like apparently they have been. They should be able to jump out to a little bit of a lead. And this is a better start for Sinister from what we saw in the first one. They got absolutely dominated in, what's that first one called? Where you pick up the crests?
Supremacy.
They got dominated in Supremacy, and now they've bounced back a little bit to take this lead and the zone advantage.
Guys, it's okay. We know Destiny for the most part. But okay, so what I really like what Sinister has been doing here this game is they opted early on to just give up control of B to take control of it had to be us as A zone. And then they just bounced between A and C a couple times long enough to draw enough of it had to be us off of that zone.
Yeah.
And then they were able to take it. They were just skirting around the outside of the map for just long enough to be able to gain a little bit of map control.
So right now, Sinister's actually up 12 points, 42-30. You've got about 11.5 minutes left to play here as we swap over to Azir, who takes out one with that melee, and they've got an active Storm Trench on their side. But here comes the Daybreak. That was 2 with 1 shot, I'm pretty sure, and he took out that Storm Trench at the same time. So a good super there coming from Prototype. Nico Wilco over here in center, and here comes the Arc Staff, able to avoid most of that damage with the spin. Takes out Nico Wilco, moves through, and Azir and Elusive are both able to get a kill there and trying to push this up.
Hey, these players aren't allowed to all be using Blink.
I'm not sure how effective it's actually being.
Oh, man, members of Sinister dropping like flies. Map control will remain in It Had to Be Us's control.
Don't you mean dropping like frames?
Nice.
Got him. Nico Wilco now back here
That's
on.
actually really good.
Nico Wilco back here on Zone C and now also over here. He got taken out right after popping that super. So the question is going to be, did that actually affect it? We'll find out.
For a moment.
No, he's still got a super. Because he tried to pop that right as he went down, but it did not actually get taken away. So he's got some of It Had to Be Us on the other side. 9-point game, so they've been able to come back a little bit, but now he's got his super over here in this small place, but he gets taken out.
Goodness, challenging supers has never been so effective. These guys have been just saying, you know what, instead of running away, we can get in their face with a shotgun. And, man, it has been effective.
And we're back. The game is still playing. We are still talking. We got it working once again. So here we are. We'll see the score in a second. That is a super charged up for Azir, and it is 126-96. Still a bit of time left to play here, but It Had to Be Us as a fairly commanding lead, playing to 150. They do not have zone advantage right now, so this might be an opportunity for Sinister to try to pump that score up.
Yeah, they do have control of Zone B, which could be one quick team wipe away from a power play in favor of Sinister. But there are supers going left and right, and there's a trade between a Blade Barrage and a Nova Warp. And we have this Dawnblade coming out. They're going to retain control of B. See if any kills can come away with it.
Missed the first shot, but he's going to have one more over here in this corridor through the bend. Tries to throw it out again. And missed both of those, trying to get the. He just wanted to get the style play so he could do the turnaround kind of no-look shot.
Oh, of course.
Of course. 139-100. Only 11 points left before It Had to Be Us takes a second game. Sinister's going to have to play essentially the best game of their life to get these 40 points back right now. 2, 3, okay, 7 points away. And we switch to Saya over on It Had to Be Us moving through. And here comes an Arc Staff. Gets one to start. Now going to push around through Zone C, and he's playing Ring Around the Rosie with that brick. Able to get a second there, 145-104, and gets taken down by the shotgun. I think that was Massimo. I didn't see.
I think it was Nico Wilco.
Okay, sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Spawns back up, 147-106. 4.5 minutes left to play. Nice shotgun and reverse, and followed by a second one there.
And that's going to be the game. It Had to Be Us going up 2-0 against Sinister. Their backs are to the walls.
Yeah. It is.
Sinister has to win
Three
games in a row, and then that's just to reset
Yeah,
the
then they have to
series,
play a
and
whole
then
new
they have
series.
to beat them again in a best of 5. It had to be us sitting pretty right now.
Sinister has come out better in the second game than they did in the first. They looked a lot less overwhelmed at the beginning, and they were able to take that lead for a little while.
Yeah.
But it had to be us then was able to kind of reassert their control and say, no.
No.
It had to be us. So now we're going to move into this next game, which is going to be Countdown on Radiant Cliffs. Might be our last game. Might be the final game of the tournament. Might not be. But it will be Countdown, so it'll be a little bit of a change-up. This can easily start kind of waterfalling on the side of it had to be us if they just start rolling rounds really quick because they'll pick up those supers.
Waterfalling. Like just knocking it down like domino?
Like it just starts, yeah.
I don't know. Using waterfalling outside of you drink. Okay, then now I'm going to drink. I don't know how to picture it, so.
You know what a waterfall is?
I do.
It's it's water. It spills off of something.
Okay.
And the more water you get, the faster it moves.
Really?
It's going
to. Are you sure? Like it sounds like it could be science, but also I feel like you're just talking out your butt.
That's not a bad thing to think. That's how a lot of the things I say come to be.
Especially in some of these broadcasts when we start going for a little bit longer.
If I talk louder than you, that means it's true. If I turn your mic off, it's definitely true.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I am closer to the interface, so that could happen. You don't know. Countdown on Radiant Cliffs. Game 3. 2-0. It had to be us is up on Sinister.
All right. Well, we know that Sinister has both. They've kind of done well and struggled with this game type in the past. I don't think that it had to be us has dropped a single game this tournament yet. If there was ever going to be a time for Sinister to take a game off, they've got to get their momentum started now.
Yes. Otherwise, they will lose.
The whole tournament.
All of it.
Well, they'll take second.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
It's pretty good, actually.
Someone's got the giant mouth ship that you have.
I love that ship. So dumb looking.
The upper right is what we're talking about. It looks a little bit like a Pikachu with that coloration.
Oh yeah.
See that?
I'm gonna make mine a Pikachu.
Just if only you could make custom decals, then you could just
slap the
Pikachu
face on there.
Yeah.
The stupid looking one.
Yep. The one that had no right to become a meme, but did.
I love that one so much.
Yeah. It's because when you use it, you really meme it.
Oh, you're doing good today, man.
I don't know if this is coming across as well to others as it is to you, but it's doing okay for me.
We'll see.
You're starting off with Azir down underneath. We got 2 nades out. Didn't end up actually tagging him. And haven't had any sets yet. There is a first kill coming out from Massimo. Okay, we got a charge set to start. Barnesy taking out one as we switch over to Prototype. But Prototype is now all of a sudden the last Guardian standing. Has one on the other side of that wall. Going to have to be very careful, but trying to play around his Healing Rift. Now trying to play around team shots coming in from It Had to Be Us, who are all over it, and they take him down.
Strong start from It Had to Be Us. They were able to get that early pick with a nice 3-tap. I can't remember who exactly got that one. But you start landing your shots early on like that, it is going to be a long game for Sinister. Or a short game.
Could be short. Here's Saya starting off over here in the Oculus and throws some stuff out there. Doesn't actually hit anybody, I don't think, but tags one for 57 with the hand cannon. He's got one just kind of crouched in that hallway, but he's got team support.
Oh, my God, a double kill coming out from Nico Wilco. 2 headshots with the sniper rifle.
All right, haven't seen any major production with that sniper until just now. We've got 3 down, and that is a round going to Sinister.
It's plays like that that is going to hype your team up into rallying into a win. And if they can string 3 wins together, they can push this to another series. They've got to keep making plays like that to keep their team excited, to keep their minds in the match.
Yeah, you get any sort of hype, and you can easily make that, you know, you can build that into some team momentum, and you can start moving. Steamroll is the word I was looking for instead of waterfall.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Waterfall did not
Actually, no.
seem to fit.
I think waterfall works.
Okay, you're just going to stand by that, huh?
Yep, I made that choice. I will die on this waterfall. Saya jumps into Oculus, takes out one quickly with the hand cannon, and that is a quick team wipe coming out of It Had to Be Us. 2-1. Moving into round 4.
So a lot of the momentum we were just talking about not having much of an effect in that third round. It Had to Be Us quickly getting it was a bit of a stalemate to start, but then once the kills started rolling, it was a waterfall of kills.
Thank you. Azir turning around the corner here, trying to find some, and we're swapping to the double with Azir on your left, Saya on the right, trying to take some shots, both of them from slightly different angles. We've got Saya over by the tree, and Azir trying to get the back end of Massimo, who's over here on that healing rift, and trying to get close, but can't finish that off, gets taken out, and it is 1-1 coming into this. It's Saya versus somebody who's over here through the Oculus on the other side of this hallway. Saya just kind of playing off of this wall right now. They do have to defend, so there could be a charge set. And there it is. It's Nico Wilco, and he takes him out with the hand cannon. That's going to be 3-1. Getting a couple extra shots in there just in case.
Yeah, make sure he stays down.
Yeah.
Man, it looked like Nico Wilco looked almost surprised right there. He wasn't aiming down that lane like I would have expected someone with a sniper rifle, and someone like him who's got a really nice shot with that sniper rifle. He wasn't watching that lane. Got caught by surprise. Gets
there's a
shot on
headshot.
Lost Ninja.
Nice pick to start. Now waiting for somebody else to be showing up here around the corner. We know we've got him there. They might be trying to position to set over here on the cave. And here he comes around the corner. He was able to back off just enough to get some damage into him and follows it up. A nice round from Sinister. It is 2-3. So they are still in this. And that started off with some nice plays by Nico. He started off with that headshot with the sniper rifle and then backed off just enough to avoid the shotgun that he knew was going to be coming. And that is how you play around somebody who rushes with a shotgun. Back off, give him a little bit of space, and just pump some different shots into it.
And now you see them holding off a little bit against that corner. You know that they've got that arc staff available, and if they all pile into this corner, they're all just going to get wiped really fast.
Yeah.
So they're just holding back just a little bit. Now both teams have an arc blade or arc staff available to them. Just barely misses that snipe. I think got a body shot.
So Nico Wilco now pushing back around through the back courtyard where one goes down. And so far there are 2 down for It Had to Be Us, 2 down for Sinister. It's a 2v2.
That's both supers on It Had to Be Us up and active, chasing down the final 2 members of Sinister. If they can outlast these supers, they can use their own.
I wonder, I don't know if that was the smartest play to make, or maybe that was a miscommunication, but they popped both of their supers at once. There's another round. It's now 3-3.
Oh my goodness, that's a huge swing in favor of Sinister, and I absolutely think it was a miscommunication. I don't think in any situation you really want, especially if you're only facing, you know, 3 or 4 members, like available members of the enemy team. You don't want to pop both of those at the same time because they can just the time is elapsing the same amount for both of those supers. And they survived both those supers and won the round. It is tied up, and now they're going to have the super advantage. And probably a little bit of momentum. And team morale.
All of those things.
Just going to keep talking.
Yeah.
And look at that. They won the next round and take the first lead of the game.
No, that wasn't them winning. Oh, this is we're on. It Had to Be Us. Pay attention to the team name, Xander. Jeez. Azir pushes up in through the cave and moving over to the charge in cave. And there is all of Sinister, so he's going to have to rethink that decision. There's another right in the back. He starts off with some smoke, not able to finish. Was that smoke? No, that wasn't smoke. That was a grenade. Nico Wilco with the arc staff out. We've got 3 supers on the side of Sinister, so this could be an opportunity as long as they chain these correctly. If he can get out there, he might not. He's got to dodge back. He popped it a little bit too far away and wasn't able to get any kills with that. And now we've got a Storm Trance coming in from It Had to Be Us, able to get one. He takes out Massimo, takes out Barnesy. And now we've got Elusive down in the corner. He's about to take out Nico,
Oh,
not
can he
able
get
to
him?
finish it, but Nico is down in health, trying to get some shots off, but can't do it. It had to be us. Takes the round. It is now 5-3, and it is game point, match point, tournament point, all of those things.
Oh, man. Nico was just barely missing a few of those shots. Panicked a little bit on the tail end of that Storm Trance and wasn't able to get the kill once he finally came out. It looked like he may have had the jump on him, but it just wasn't enough. You miss a couple of those shots, you're down and out. We do have 2 supers available on Sinister. We're going to be looking to use those before any members get picked. And that is going to be one.
So starting with those shots, and this is Prototype going out as Massimo goes down. I thought Prototype hit him with that. I guess he missed, so he only ended up getting 1 on that. He took out Saya. Prototype now moving around. It's a 2v2, but the other side has an active super. It had to be us. You would expect to see it.
There you go.
I was right.
They
I
want to
did
close this
expect. Here it
tournament
is.
out.
Starting off with a throw over at Nico, who's over on the far side, and ring around the Rosie
Oh
on
my
the
God,
thing, but he's going to be
last
able to
man
reverse
standing.
and get him. He's got 1 more. And now it is just player versus player, 1v1. Sniper comes out from Azir Q. Trying to find him because whoever's left over on the other side, I think it's Prototype, has run off and is now kind of hiding somewhere in the corner.
He can force an area of engagement, though, with the fact that he can set the bomb.
Oh!
But he gets the snipe! Azir with the 1v1, and that is going to be for the tournament. Azir, cool ice in his veins.
What a shot right there at the end, just popping up. Headshot as Prototype jumps into view and is able to take him out. That is 6-3. They win this game. That is 3-0 sweep for the entire grand final. And so they haven't dropped around through this entire thing.
They haven't
and now
dropped
just won.
a single game through this entire
That's
thing.
what I meant.
Yeah. So, wow, it had to be us winning the November GETREKT test tournament.
Yeah.
And, wow, some GGs from those guys. Oh, my goodness. What a pleasure to watch all of these teams near the end of this tournament. And just how close a lot of these games ended up being. I mean, it was just a delight to see when it gets down to like a 1v1 situation. It's just, that's just quality.
Yeah. And I will say in that final, it was a great job by Sinister to start playing up after a bad first start. They just weren't able to close it out. So,
Yeah.
But that is your final. It had to be us. Takes the title. They don't take any prizes or money. But
they get the
it's
bragging
fine.
rights for at least a month.
Yeah.
Or I guess at least unless they're going to the live event, which we had you saw an ad for a little bit earlier. Guys, make sure you go to that if you aren't already planning on it because it looks so fun.
Like if you live in the UK at least.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to go, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. It's a little farther away for us. All right. Well, I think that's about it unless we have any more advertisements to play. Oh, yeah, we can take a look at these stats.
We
to
got
finish
some
it up.
final stats. And while you guys are looking at this, I just want to get a quick shout out and big thanks over to Etsky. He's the man behind the curtain doing a lot of the production that you see here, giving us the opportunity to just chat away for a couple hours about Destiny, and you guys get to see the visual product of what he's putting together.
Yeah.
Enigma for inviting us along, and Anubis for having all of us invited over to this event. So
and a big shout out, especially this time, to the volunteers who have been calculating all of these stats the entire time and watching these matches and taking all of this down.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's been so fun to have this. And you see there it had to be us with the final top 4 spots in the overall efficiency. Nobody below a 2.1. That's pretty good.
That's amazing.
But Prototype from Sinister.
That's how you win tournaments.
Yeah, having a better score and being a better player. Sinister topping out the overall team kills. They did play a couple more games than it had to be us, but still pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
I mean, that's pretty good for a day's work. They rounded out with about 1,000 kills on the tournament. As a team, they fought the longest and the hardest, but in the end,
doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. It had to be us taking the victory royale.
That's not this game.
Oh.
That's a different game.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think we have any more stats. I don't think we have any more advertisements to play, unless that's going to pop in there. I'm not hearing anything. All right, so that is about it. We've just gotten the call to end it. So from here in DC on a very cold and rainy night, thanks for watching.